All right, let's get ourselves ready here. Folks, welcome again to the closing argument.
Today na
Those
your
of you that are following us
birthday.
from far and near,
Na the day where you come to join the people wey be don stay for this world before you come.
while we get ourselves ready for the likes of those of you that are joining us for the first time, we want to welcome all of you. Do us a favor, share the show, invite somebody, tell somebody else. The closing argument is here. Um, in in honor of the man Dr. Peabody himself, we will be extending a little bit of birthday celebration and, of course, his anniversary as he celebrates his anniversary today. So while we wait for the guys to join us, the rest of the team, we will take a little bit of, take a bow to the man, St. Tomlin George. Happy birthday to you. His birthday was yesterday, but he celebrates his birthday and, of course, milestone anniversary as well. He's celebrating somewhere special with his significant other and other family members. So we have to carry on the people's job. We have to do what is expected of us. But we want to thank all of you for being here. Do us a favor, share the podcast. And while we continue to celebrate St. Tamerlane George's birthday, we will play a little bit of the old school hits, a birthday celebration, and we'll wait for the rest of the guys to join us, folks. Welcome to the closing argument.
Today na your birthday. Na the day where you come to join the people wey be don stay for this world before you come. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Na so everybody come in the world. Hey, hey. We dey advise you say, any work where you dey work, make you put your mind there and work and find. Make you not dey talk like, make a yes be yes, your no be no, then you go live well for this world. Hey, 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 hey. So God go bless you, give you long, long life, give you many, many birthdays again. So God will bless you, give you long, long life, give you many, many birthdays again. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say thanks to you. We beg God to give happy you many birthday to you. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. We did the born you. Say thanks to you. How many months ago? Happy birthday to you. How many weeks ago? Say thanks to you. How many years happy ago? Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say this world. To you. Mama, hey, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Today na your birthday. Na the day where you come to join the people wey be don stay for this world before you come home. Hey, hey, hey. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take am so. Na so everybody come in the world. Hey, hey. We dey advise you say, any work where you dey work, make you put your mind there and work and fine. Make you not dey talk lie, make your yes be yes, your no be no. Then you go live well for this world. Hey. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So say thanks to you, happy birthday to you. You go live long for days. Thanks to you, long life to you. Happy birthday to you. How many years ago? How many weeks ago? Happy birthday to you. Anyhow you did. We dey beg on to give you long life again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, happy birthday to you. Long life, to you. Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, folks. That was for the man, Dr. Henry Peabody. A lot of you who followed the closing argument, I'm pretty sure you were aware that he's a backbone, or one of the backbones behind the closing argument. As you guys know, it's a difficult thing for one to commit to the level of sacrifices that is made here often. Dr. Peabody, whether or not any one of us is in studio, he's ready. He's here. Um, ready to start the show, going on with the conversation. These are sacrifices that we can't take for granted. We must be appreciative when people commit themselves to doing things for us, and the little things that we take for granted are the things that really matter to a lot of people. Today, Dr. Peabody celebrates his birthday. It will only be fair for the first segment of this entire program if we can just dedicate a few minutes to just having you all call in and just wish Dr. Peabody a happy birthday and anniversary. His birthday was yesterday. We should have been here. As promised, we told you guys we would have been on here 5 days a week going forward, especially after the fundraiser. And of course, that is something that we have committed to. But Dr. Peabody wasn't going to take time off. Again, it is very important that you appreciate yourself, family time, and other things that you need to do. So he's actually spending, really good time. You probably won't have seen him here. Had Dr. Peabody been at home, he would have been here discussing other things. So let us learn to appreciate people while they are still with us. Let us give them the flowers while they are still with us on earth. And that in itself will encourage people to do more. Human, we are incentive driven. All right. If you give us a little bit, we appreciate it. If you're appreciative of our little sacrifices, it just encourage people to do more. And Dr. Peabody, one of those people whom I have seen who has committed to making sure that the closing argument remains what it is and consistently carry on to the next the next level. So let us use this opportunity to definitely thank Dr. Peabody, I want to use this opportunity to say thank you for your dedication, the commitment, the level of humanitarian effort that you have exerted. Um, in Liberia, you continue to do that. We see how much humanitarian work you do in Liberia. And even being on this platform every other day as we started, and now about to be every day, that is something that we cannot easily ignore. A lot of us on here, there's at least about, maybe if I am to count my finger, I think about 6 7 of us on the platform. But I can't sit here and say there is a single one of us that is as consistent as you are when it comes to being here and starting the show as consistently as you have. All right. It is rare that you will have a show without Dr. Peabody, unless if he got something to do, he drop off, go in and back. And these are all sacrifices that are made to Liberians, and you can just ignore that. I don't think we should. I think we should be appreciative when we have people such as Dr. Peabody, who's just again volunteering his service. Volunteerism is highly appreciated in other parts of the world. All right. And how many of us here really want to leave our significant others, what a wife, girlfriend, or what fiance, husband, and spend this amount of time just volunteering your service? um Not everybody find it lightly. Some partners don't take it lightly, and they probably may react in a different way. But we are blessed to have a man who um have done just that for us, with the contribution from his wife, okay, who has been also supportive. And they celebrate their anniversary, I guess, this week, and throughout the time. So I think we should use this opportunity. Hopefully the guys back home, I'm going to give them the opportunity to open the phone line. This is how we're going to start the show today. We are going to dedicate the first at least 30 minutes to the guys back home. Open up the phone lines. Let's take some calls. Let us celebrate Dr. Henry Peabody, um, for his belated birthday and his anniversary that he's celebrating with his wife. This is great. We would not find too many people. Like I said, I continue to emphasize the fact that not too many people will be willing to commit to being a part of such thing when there isn't much to it. All right. This is some, again, our community, our society nowadays is heavily um involved with people having that kickback. It's about them. While we wait for hopefully the guys back home to give us a signal as to whether we can take some calls from back home, let me just acknowledge quite a few of you on here tonight. James A. Koyate. James Koyate said, "Good evening, closing argument family." James, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Peter White. Good evening, guys. Peter, thank you for being here as well. Sophie Blamo. Sophie, thank you for being a part of today's conversation. Kwayi Kwayi Nali. Kwayi Nali, thank you. Said thanks to you guys for the wonderful job. Thank you as well for supporting the platform and doing your part, sharing the podcast as much as possible. Thompson B. Bowles. Thompson B. Bowles said, watching from Sydney, Australia, looking forward to a great show tonight. Koyi Nati said, following live from Monrovia, Dole Community, Mamiri Yar. Okay, all the way out of Mamiri Yar. Say a special shout out to all the people in Mamiri Yar, and to you as well. Thank you for following all of the folks in Dole Community. We sent you all a special shout out from the Closing Argument family. We appreciate all of you guys for being on here. Farina Lakpal. Farina says, good evening, guys. I'm watching you from Fendel. Job well done. We appreciate you all. Noah Hoax. Noah, welcome to the show. Thank you. Guys, let us continue to share the podcast. Let us continue to do that as we wait on others to come here But I'm assuming that we'll start having some technical issues, especially with the guys back home. I was really hoping that we can open up the phone lines and start taking some calls uh, on this day. So, guys, let's listen to a little bit of music while we celebrate Dr. Henry Peabody. Of course, his birthday, his belated birthday and anniversary. So, I'm going to play this music again, and then we're just going to go here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me play this music while I talk to the guys in the back to make sure that we have the technical issue handled. All right, so let's do that here.
For this world, before you come home, anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take so. Now so everybody come in the world, We the advice you say, any walk where you they walk, make you put your mind there and walk and find. Make you not they talk like, make a yes be yes, you know be no, then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God will bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say thanks to you. We beg God to give you many birthday to you. Say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. We did the born you. Say thanks to you. How many months ago? Happy birthday to you. How many weeks ago? Say thanks to you. How many years happy ago? Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say this world. To you. Mama, hey, yeah. Happy birthday to you. Today now your birthday. Now the day where you come to join the people we be don't stay for this world before you come home. Anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take so. Now so everybody come in the world. We the advice you say, any walk where you they walk, make you put your mind there and walk and find. Make you not they talk like, make your yes be yes, your no be no, then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So say thanks to you. Happy birthday to you. You go live long for say this thanks to you. Long life to you. Happy birthday to you. How many years ago? Say thanks to you. How many weeks ago? Happy birthday to you. Anyhow you did, we did beg God to give you long life again. Oh,
Okay, folks. I'm still trying to get in contact with the guys in studio back home. We are not certain as to what is going on um, with the guys in the studio. So but anyway, a lot of things are going on. Hopefully, we can get this resolved and get the guys on here. That is if they're here. But great to be on here today, folks. We want to welcome all of you to the closing argument. Today is October, the second date of October 2024, and I'm coming to you live from the people city of Raleigh, the state of North Carolina. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Great to be out here. I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. In Liberia and every other part of the world that you may be joining us from, we want to welcome you guys again. We hope to make this another fascinating conversation, bring you current events from Liberia and other parts of the world, hopefully, with emphasis on current events in Liberia. It appears that the president is currently still out of the country. Well, a lot of other things happening, promises being made. Lawmakers are publicly making statements, um, with some level of direction as to what is expected from the president upon his return to the country in regards to actions that is expected to be taken. Hopefully, you and I can be a part of this conversation today, discussing uh, the president's trip out of Liberia. I believe he was scheduled to be somewhere in Rhode Island. I don't know when, but sometime this week because he's still out of the country. Don't know if he has returned. Seditions again. It was a massive tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You got that right. Fix it electronics. And man, he fixes it. Fix electronics. But yeah, guys, do us a favor, share the show, invite other people, tell somebody, tell somebody, tell somebody, tell somebody else. The closing argument is here, and we're here to stay, right? Um, a lot of things been going on. Again, like I said earlier, there's a couple things that I want to highlight on here. One thing, that I'm going to specifically focus on, and I want to start today's conversation while the rest of the guys are coming on, and hopefully they can join in this conversation. I came across a video, but before I say that again, for a lot of you who are just joining, we want to welcome all of you and thank you guys for coming on. But most importantly, when you come on, just send a shout out to Dr. Henry Peabody. He celebrated his birthday yesterday and is celebrating today. Also celebrated his anniversary. All right. And it's a big, big deal, for it's not easy to just find committed men these days and women, okay? Because it takes two to make it whole, right? So yeah, so we must be very thankful, celebrating. I don't know if it's okay for me to state the length of time, but I mean it's remarkable. Look, I pray to God that I come anywhere close to that. It's great, great man, man. You can tell from his heart because he is one person who cares. And he do a lot of things for other people. So of course, um, God had been able to bless him in a much more significant way. It had been marvelous. Thank you to my brother Johnny for joining us. Johnny is still with us in the states, and of course, I think he's joining us from Atlanta. Johnny, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here today. How are you doing? How's the weather like in your part of the world?
So, thank you. Is my audio all right?
Yes, your audio is all right. It will be from my side because I had it very loud due to the music, but you shouldn't be hearing yourself again.
All right. So, thank you. let me appreciate you for starting the show early. And I'm in Delaware. I left Atlanta yesterday
Okay.
after attending the 100th birth celebration of President Carter.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, but I mean, while there, I experienced the storm that was up there, the rain and the bad weather. It was very like concerning. Uh, you know, and then on Monday we experienced some chemical fire, explosion where the
Mhm.
car was a little bit, kind of foggy, and I didn't know because I'm not used to that. I thought it was actually because of the weather condition. But,
Mm.
but I was riding with my workmate, my colleague, who told me that something's going wrong because this is not normal for us here. And fortunately for us, once we switch on the news on the car, we heard that there was some chemical factory that had some fire explosion. That's why the temperature or the cloud was so bad off.
Mhm.
And later the call, while at the Carter Center head office, and a lot of the staff there were saying that they have been called by the various schools to that they will keep the children indoor because they won't allow people to get out due to the chemical explosion because they were assuming that they will have some kind of chlorine in the air. And later I got a message on my phone reminding me that I know there was something that's gone wrong, but the EPA of the US was working very hard to ensure that the air quality was improved. So for here in Delaware, it's okay. Something that came yesterday evening. I've been working from home, but in touch with my guys in Monrovia with the way when we are doing this. So everything's fine. We are okay here. Hopefully, we can have a good show today.
That's great. Good to hear that. I'm just listening to you talk about the level of awareness from all side of things, and the desire to protect their citizens. I think that was their primary concern. In everything else, they're communicating with you. Stay indoor if you need to be indoor. Stay outside. Johnny, I'm gonna hold it. I think this is a work call. Please allow me to take this call really quick. If you can just talk to our people, I'll be right back.
All right. So thank you for this show. I want to encourage all of you listening to the show to pay attention to the conversation, and I would like for Liberians to take interest in reading the Liberian Constitution. That's one thing I thought to share with fellow Liberians. And just take your Constitution and make sure every day you read at least a page or a chapter to be aware of your own country's law is good for you. And you know how to argue, you know how to discuss national issues. If you are fully aware and equipped with information concerning your country, it helps you in making decisions. So thank you. I see that Tomelin has joined. Tomelin, welcome to the show. I was here with Julius. He left me in chat. So uh, thank you, Tomelin, for joining.
Yes, good to see you, my brother Johnny. I don't know when you're gonna come on this end of the East Coast side.
I'm in the East already. I'm in Delaware right now.
Oh, in Delaware, but
Yeah.
Professor Kennedy, you interested Professor Kennedy?
The last time when I got here on Sunday or Monday, he and I met. We had a lunch together in.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's
There's
good.
a place in Delaware you guys call some Liberian place. I don't know 45 something.
I'm 1 hour 30 something minutes away from Delaware. I'm in Reading, Pennsylvania. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but we can catch up. I'm here. I'm here for the rest
Yeah.
of the week. I'm here until I
Okay.
go back to Liberia, so we can catch up anytime.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to Philadelphia this weekend. I know the speaker he'll be the guest speaker of the Grand Crew Association in America's program, and then he's having a town hall event at a Victory Harvest Church on Sunday. I'm still looking at my schedule, but it's good to be on the show. Just for announcement, the president of Liberia is right now at this present moment in Rhode Island with Liberian Community Association. There, they are honoring our Liberian one U.S. senator who has been a champion for Liberians in the USA, Senator Jack Reed. The president and his delegation, they are in Rhode Island, and they are honoring Senator Reed at this moment in Providence. Providence, Rhode Island is where I began my American journey. I lived there for almost 12 years, and I had all my kids in the U.S. They were born in Providence. All my kids there. So That's a place I call my hometown in the U.S., Providence, Rhode Island. But we are monitoring the president as that program is continues. We getting signal from there. I know the president pro tem of the Senate. They're all in town. I know some senators are there. Yeah, they're all there, and see what happens from there. But the president, I think he needs to be going back home soon because too much trouble in Liberia now. Too much yo-yo in Liberia. He needs to get home on the ground and get things going. As you all may be aware, there are a lot of ongoing issues in his government, and including this principal, the Minister of Public Affairs and Public Works, and his deputy having some issues. They are ongoing and so forth. But we are watching to see what happens. But welcome again, everyone. Want to say thank you. Share the show. Share the show. We are live on True FM. We are also live on True FM, and hopefully, as soon as we can conclude our discussion with another station in Liberia, a major station in Liberia, hopefully we'll conclude with them maybe this week, and we'll keep on live on that station too. But we'll keep the news away yet until we conclude with them. But we'll soon be broadcast on another major radio station in the country. The closing argument continues to expand. I want to say thanks to our loyal supporters, our members, our followers who come on the show every day. I want to recognize them. And but again, let me say this: we have been given 5 days to come on the show now. So, but now I will encourage even some of our supporters, our sympathizers, our fans, and to help us. We don't always have to talk about politics in a human interest story. A lot of things that we can talk about. We come up with a topic. We invite someone who is expert in that area to talk about it. Like for instance, the issue about the drug addiction in our country. You can bring somebody there, even they talk about the people they call Zogo. You can bring somebody who you think can help. We can invite experts to come and help us talk about it. So at least instead of allowing the days to just go by, want to see get involved, not only politics. We can mix with politics, but at least anything of social economic benefits to the country, we all be part of it. It's good that we all get involved. And if you're watching this show and you feel like you want to contribute something to the show, you want to join, come be a guest. Tell it, hit one of us. I want to be a guest panelist today with you guys to talk about the issue that you guys discussing today. I want to take part in that discussion. Get involved. A lot of stuff that we all can be part of. Make it spicy up. Not only we'll be on the show talking politics all day. No, a lot of good things happening in Liberia. People doing some good things in our country that we're not even aware. Like I'm happy that hopefully on Friday we have Leo Johnson,
right,
from Canada. Leo's doing a lot of good things in the country. Leo, the Empowerment Center, how do you call it? When I was constructing that project, I was in with him. He went on his site, we took a tour of his site, and now it was dedicated by President Boyka, and they're doing a good job there. Talk about it, it's good. And let's not just make the show only to be amongst ourselves. No, it's a platform that's open to everyone. That's what we say. We're not opposition, we're not government. Yeah, some people will defend the government, some people will defend the opposition. It's all part of the game. But whatever you say is up to you, you're entitled to it. But let us not waste the time. Every day, when people are thousands of people watching us around the world, let us come with something, bring something to the discourse so we can talk about it. So if you have anything on mind, you can hit any one of the guys in our inbox so we can discuss it. I'm planning right now. There's a show I'm planning for soccer. I'll be bringing some veteran Liberian soccer players who play the game long before Josh Weah them played. Like the great Benedict Wisset will be coming soon. So we have a long discussion here. They will talk about Liberian soccer, why our soccer is still where it is today. Also, the former Minister of Youth and Sports planning. He's coming. Perhaps hopefully next week we're getting in. Honorable D. Zoka Wilson. We can talk about his term as the Minister of Youth and Sports and the challenges he faces and what he thinks can be done to help improve our overall sporting activities in our country. So let us all be part of it. come up with your ideas. We'd love to hear from you guys, make it meaningful. So, so that we just want to say again, welcome and share the show and let us see what happens. As I speak again, the president is in Rhode Island. He's there honoring Senator Jack Reed from Rhode Island. He's one of the top ranking Democrats in the Senate. And he was very instrumental in Liberians getting their status today. Most Liberians today that have green card and also U.S. citizenship. Reed was very instrumental from 1990s, being a champion for Liberians. So the president decided to honor him today. But I had a different approach to it. Like I told people, I said, the president got all the top officials. The speaker is in the country. The pro tem is here. You got all these people. The president said, look, let the guys handle it. Let them honor the senator. I won't get involved indirectly in that manner, and do what you got to do. But it's a different thing. But guys, let us go and let us make this show a great show. So I don't know what we're discussing first tonight, but let's.
Oh, go ahead, Emily.
Yes, y'all want to talk about.
I wanted,
Okay,
Tamale,
somebody-
if I could chime in real quick, I want to first of all for us to use this time. Even though I started the show with it already, but I want us to use this opportunity to just acknowledge and appreciate Dr. Peabody. Let all of us at least say something about this brother, and then just acknowledge him and publicly extend birthday greetings to him, and then and anniversary greetings to him and as well, and then we can get into a story that was sent to me a couple days ago. A young girl was actually arrested at her graduation ceremony because she did not pay the remaining $10, I believe, as it was stated in there, even though they were charged. So she was arrested, handcuffed, and taken in. I mean, embarrassed. So I think this is one place that we could hopefully start from and speak to it. But let us use this opportunity as well to just extend our gratitude to Dr. Peabody for the level of commitment, the sacrifices that he has made over the past months to be here on time, ready to start the show, engaging an audience until some of us can leave our respective jobs and then join the show later for the rest of the enjoyment. I think we should not let this opportunity pass to extend to him our level of gratitude and appreciation for what he has done and what he continues to do for this platform.
All right, thank you, Lofa. I think let me start, and then our colleagues can join. Since I got to know the closing argument during the electioneering period in 2023, uh, I mean, Peabody and Tourmaline, Ben Saville, they used to be on the Spoon Show. I used to follow. And when they had a situation and had to move to have the closing argument organized, I started to follow them too. And for the period of time I've been following the closing argument and all the other international media outlets about Liberia, I think Peabody has been doing well to get this process running well. And he has been playing a role on the closing argument in my mind like a stabilizer. We've been trying to sometimes calm down when there is a kind of argument or discussion that getting a little bit hot. I see him trying to play the role to ensure that there's some kind of balance in the discussion, even though sometimes he's accused of being supporting an individual or a system. But I think Peabody has been doing well. And I also learned that Peabody have been involved with doing some philanthropic work in Liberia. I've been following that also. So it's just good, if you have your natal day, your birthday comes, to see another year added to you is to appreciate God and appreciate your society for the work you've been doing. And let me say, Peabody, the mission you got to accomplish on earth will have to be accomplished before you leave the earth. That's for sure. That's one thing I'm sure of. When you are here for a mission and God sent you for a mission on earth, you have to, no matter what happens to you, if you can go in the sea, you will survive until that mission is accomplished. So keep up the good work. If you have more to do in the world, believe me, you will live long to do all those things that you have to do in the world. Thank you.
The neo-progressive.
Okay.
You're muted, boss man. But Tamerlane, I guess you could go since Neo is trying to figure something out.
Well, let me say this. According to the body, if he and I we talk almost 10 times a day. I mean, man, before we go to bed we talk, and in the morning we talk. On our way to work we're talking. When we are doing our morning walk, we're talking. Everything. If I were together in New York this on Sunday, we had a good time with our guys that came for the UN General Assembly that came to cover the assembly, and the Korean Peabody is a wonderful guy. It's true he's doing some projects in Liberia on his Liberian mission, and I travel with him a lot. Went to Liberia. We go there. We go Orange Grove to where his parents from. For his dad and my dad worked together in Firestone together. We know each other for a long time, almost like family, because his sisters and my sister are very close. And he's a great guy. He's a leader. I'll tell you the truth. One of the people don't know about this whole closing argument. He's one of the guys who keep it going, keeps it going. He's strong behind it, and he's the one who always pushing, you know. And even us today, our page, you see our page expanding. He ensured that we got a reporter on the ground now who is covering live events on the ground, and now we are being accredited by hopefully as soon as the executive mansion press secretary gets back, we will be officially accredited to be one of the executive mansion correspondent, and the guy is being compensated by this platform. And also we got people also now at MICAT and also at the House of Representatives and so forth, trying to expand the closing argument. And so he's been he's the brain behind it, because always pushing. And somebody who, I'll tell you, he's a typical American dude. Peabody will tell you how he feels. He won't take nobody in prison. He will open up, you know, as people will come on the show and insulting his family, insulting him. You go around your boss and deal with you, then he block you. One guy cry, he said, "Oh, my man, Dr. Money, the people are not fair. They make it and cost me like when you want to eat black." I said, "Yeah, you insulting the man." You know, according to the body, you know, and he's some of the guy. He'll be a quick to give, who goes to go places. You have to do the first to do payment, to pay quickly. If you want to do the pay, you will find you think, you know, I get it. That kind of person he is, you know, very, very compassionate. And as I said today, he's president out of the country with his wife. They are celebrating their wedding anniversary, and he's a brother, a dear brother. And so I want to say happy birthday again to Henry Peabody, and happy anniversary too. Pray that God continue to give you long life and good health as you do more good things for people in and around the world. So again, buddy, I sure you know what we do when we get together. So the body, keep it going.
Yeah, then I'll go, and then hopefully the Neo Progressive, if he's not ready yet, well, you're unmuted now. Go ahead, Neo.
Yeah, thank you. Basically, yeah, on that, let me say again, bravo and viva to you on this special occasion. Please accept all of our compliments and best wishes as you move forward. I think you are a very progressive man. You are a thoughtful person. Well, your intention on the individual also, the mindset and the tenacity to get things done. Beyond this process about Dr. Peabody engagement on this platform, part of the process of Dr. Peabody engagement is what he's been doing. He's impacting humanity back home in the country. I have seen these are some of the very important process back in our country. The issue about allowing people to have safe drinking water that is drinkable and usable. It is very cardinal and very permanent, and that those kind of issue engagement is that providing life, because we got most of the major problem in our country about safe drinking water. Water, we have the availability of water, a lot of abundance of water in Liberia, but the issue about usable and drinkable safe water to drink, he's been very impactful in terms of those things. He's a kind man. His thought process about putting things together, his calculation is very well on time, and he's a kind of a human person, right? So it is very important that my very first time interacting with him when we met was at the government house in town center here in Delaware, Joshua Brown, and I think he saw him for his religious aspect also. He's a religious person also, and all those things. So the combination of all those things, he will fit this kind of process. And I'm one person that do slowly and take time to evaluate people and then put you in a special classification. And I thought he met all of those basic criteria that one would have to meet and other things in terms of his judgment. He got a good sense of judgment, and I mean, he cultivates his sense of reason in a more effective manner. He's also a very good communicator. So, I mean, he's the kind of a comrade that one would love to affiliate and associate with and build the camaraderie with moving forward. So I got this sense of happiness that we have to cross paths, and I thought it is important that he go and enjoy himself. Probably I want to see, I don't know if he flew on business class. So so when I say that come money or so and say
No, but
You had to do a little politics in this.
Sylvester, I tell you this though. Maybe if one of you did your travel with us, when we travel, we buy economy, right? When we get to the airport, we use our points and we go business. So and people can be talking.
and that's the kind of a thing I can do. So,
Yeah,
so I don't want to the day. I don't want people to look at them or say this and that. I normally that's
See
what I
your
do. I push my point up, Lofa. I push my point up and use the point to to begin the process of saying. I just want to say something. No, honestly, no, I've done, and it's part of that. It's just part of the issue of life, right? I normally love to do the thing and do my upgrade and the rest. And some of the upgrade that the last time I traveled, my upgrade was like $349 to flat business class. So it's not something that folk will not do or not anticipate to see unfold, right? So you see these things, and you have to do a lot of things that you only them, but it's not, it's not
when you fly business class, you all want fly business class.
Yeah, you always want to do it. You always want to do it.
So let me use this.
Let us go, guys.
You always want to. You see, you always want to do it. You sit there.
It's neo-progressive.
Nobody come and say this. Now, you see, you relax, you do those things. And
I say, but Comrade Pee Wee, you are becoming a capitalist now.
No, but they can't let one. You see, we don't mind people think you're saying we'll fly. They're not government money here.
No, but
they can't lie. You
Comrade Pee Wee,
kind of an issue and do things. Right?
Comrade Pee Wee.
You have to do this.
Comrade Pee Wee, you know the lecture on the UI campus, right?
So I was making issue last time since I'm at 12 flew business. Like, come on, man. You don't have to be made sort of fun ass to fly business.
Look, people will get into the politics. Let me use my opportunity to appreciate. Let me use the opportunity to appreciate.
Yeah, man. So,
the brother Alex, welcome to the show. By the way, Alex.
Alex, yeah.
Alex, yeah.
Thank you very
on
much.
the show, but
I'm making. I was seeing this. You ain't not gonna have a way back. Somebody's right.
yo,
That way back close this, Sylvester.
I come to eat again.
Sylvester, you know you have classic. You know you weighed it.
But you know, you want more again.
On a very serious,
this is Marco Coast, right? You know the kind of thing I can wear. You know that.
This is the latest fashion, okay? Sylvester, if you don't know that.
Now let me progress. We got some news to.
yeah, we got a lot of things going on.
The flip side of it, man. I know, man. Man, you are Cohiba boy. you smoke Cohiba on the Oscar of Des Moines.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyway, if the neo-progressive will allow me to at least appreciate my brother.
I'm gonna mute myself now. I'm gonna mute myself.
No, but on a very serious note, though, I really do admire Dr. Peabody's passion for this platform and the level of work that he has done. He and I have had conversations in the back several times, and often we don't agree on several things, and he will be the first to pick up the phone and hit me up to inquire. And I just admire that about his level of concern, and not only about the closing argument, but I found out that he is heavily involved in humanitarian work, something that I really do appreciate most Liberian for doing, because we need it right now. While it is true that I often say we appear to be heavily reliant on handouts, but the fact that it's coming from another Liberian who is, seeming to appreciate and value our people back home, so he's involved with what he could do to save lives. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to cross paths with him. Yes, while we on here, but we do fight a lot in the back sometimes. But he's a calm dude. Like, he would take a jab here and there without you even knowing that he's taking the jab at you, unless you're very much in the alert. But that's the kind of personality that he possessed. And so having to be around him, because he's a very smart young man, so he understands what he's dealing with. But I think he is very committed and devoted to a better Liberia. That is one thing that I hold very high of anybody that I interact with. Our community and our society is polluted, okay, with two ways kind of people: the deceptive ones and the ones who only want to be in a circle of power. But he's not about that sort of things, but he looks to see how we can better the society. When I say humanitarian idea, the leadership ability and the desire to hopefully see a better Liberia. So I just want to use this opportunity to say to you, as we get to know each other more, it's been just few months that I have gotten to know you, and haven't been extensive as compared to your brother Tamerlane on here. But I have come to understand that you have so much passion, something that you and I both share in common. We have so much passion for Liberia, and I just hope that we continue to do that on this very special day of yours and that of your wife. Of course, I want to appreciate your wife, because it is often said behind every successful man is a very strong, brilliant, intelligent, and ready to move woman. So had it not been for your wife, you probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to serve in the capacity in which you serve. So to your wife and kids and other family members who support you in your endeavor, we want to extend our sincere appreciation to them and to you. Happy birthday, brother. We will not fight when you get back for a week, and then after that we'll start fighting again, okay? But it definitely is good having you on here.
And then for Chuchu, so we can hurry up. We're gonna make some progress.
Yeah.
Chuchu.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about Dr. Peabody's birthday, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Was it yesterday or today?
it was yesterday. It was yesterday, but his anniversary continued. The celebration continued for 2 months.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Dr. P, I think, is a cool guy. I like him. Very calm, smart guy, and very thoughtful. Very, very thoughtful. You not let my man Sylvester. But he's a cool guy, and I wish him all the best. I wished him happy birthday yesterday. I saw his, posting with his beautiful wife, and that's what we look for in society. People, not everybody can be the sharp mouth as I am, but people contribute to society in different ways, and one of his ways is to help build a platform where everybody can come and express themselves, and also to get involved at the local level. So I applaud him for that. Good man.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, let's make progress. Let me announce on next week Tuesday we'll have our United States criminal defense lawyer, who's a Liberian, will be with us to answer any legal questions. I know people are having a lot of questions. Even I know today as I just saw our friend Stanton getting a extension today, but the court people being giving their own interpretation. But the lawyer will be able to address all that issue. He will tell you what's going on. He'll give you a lot of information on it. Any question, even in Liberia, the problems in Liberia, the courts that in the legal issues in Liberia, he will talk about it. He was well educated. He got his law degrees in the U.S. and he understands that's what he does for a living. And he'll be here on our show Tuesday. So any legal question, legal issues you have, bring it forward. Let him address it. Anything. He's a criminal defense lawyer. This guy, he he has done a lot of things for people, and he for people, Liberians and foreigners and so forth, including even going to case some of the tougher cases you talk about. He's involved with it. So he'll be with us next week on Tuesday. He'll be with us. You can call in, ask questions, and he will tell you everything you need to know. So come ready, and we'll take it from there. But as we said earlier, again, as you're aware, the president is in the U.S. He's addressed the United Nations General Assembly last week, the first address, and now they are on their way back. But they are in Rhode Island right now as we speak. As we speak, the program honoring Senator Jagri is on, where he's in attendance. And in fact, almost the whole government in America, because I think the president is here. Besides the vice president, the VP is in Liberia, I think so. But the speaker is here, the pro tem is here, the various senators are all here. I saw Senator Dillon, I saw Ita Wangbe, Zopeno, Representative Michael Thomas, all the guys are here. They came for the UNGAS summit. They came also made a case for Liberia for Liberia to get a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. I saw the program where Manasari made a case, and everybody spoke. Hopefully, Liberia, I pray that we get a permanent seat for the 2026 UN General Assembly. The last time we had that seat was when, who can tell me who are the first Liberians to hold that seat? Who can tell me?
The first Liberian to hold which seat?
The non-permanent Security Council seat on the Security Council.
Wasn't that a lady? Wasn't that a lady?
Don't start cheating. Don't look. I'm sure people knows.
Okay.
People know, right? People
Pee-wee's talking. Okay, Pee-wee talk. Go ahead. I'm not sure. Go ahead. We're listening, Pee-wee.
Is that Grace Brownell?
That's what I'm saying. It was a lady. I'm not sure.
Chuchu,
I don't know.
know.
Listen. I don't know. I don't know everything.
Right. I'm not sure, but I was asking. Okay. I know it was a lady, wasn't it?
It was. I think Chokon Bayou just put it up. Angie Brooks ran up.
Okay.
The first Liberian woman. She was head of the UN Security Council, the General Council. Yeah, she played that role. Since then, we have not had opportunity. So Liberia is making a case to hold that seat in 2026. Hopefully, we get it. I know former President Salif made a case. Lima Gbowe endorsed it. President Weah, I think after he was attacked, he started to hold back, and he said he supported it, but we just want to make sure that we're on the same page. But that's a debate for another day. But let's see what happens. But let us speak for Liberia. So, guys, the LACC is presently investigating this government for off-budget spending. Lufa, before we go to that point, you had a topic first. Yeah, go with that topic.
Okay. Let me share this quickly. I know because you brought it up, so I just want to throw light on it. I see a couple of comments on here. People are asking to read it. The screen that I shared earlier, it was just the publication. Stanton Witherspoon, again, like Tamerlane said, I think we'll get into this in detail. Stanton Witherspoon have requested an extension of his time. Now, what this is when you are convicted of an act, the court can decide, they can give you an extension as to when you want to submit yourself to go to jail or whatever. So Stanton again submitted another request to the United States government to hopefully extend his time. And let me read forbidden what is written here. It said, in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, United States of America, plaintiff versus Stanton Witherspoon, case number 236000005, C.R. Smith, Stanton Witherspoon, defendant, unopposed order to extend surrender. This case having come before the court on the defendant's unopposed motion to extend surrender date, and the court being fully appraised of the circumstances, it is hereby ordered and adjudged as follows. The defendant unopposed motion to extend surrender date is granted. Okay. The defendant is set to surrender on January 23rd, 2025 at 12 p.m. So now they have extended the date. Instead of when it should have been, I think this month, now he asked to have his time extended so that hopefully he can spend extra time with family, friends. And again, the court is what it is. The court is not against the people, but to provide judgment. So I just wanted to read that part, and then I'm going to play the video out here. That is what. All right. I agree. But let me share this live podcast here. This video that
So this is just the code is trying quickly before you go to your podcast.
All right, go ahead.
The code is just trying to tell us that in the process of the legal process is not there basically it's there sometimes to serve appointment, but for justice to be served. That's one of the process here. So here is it. We have someone that is convicted. A convict is negotiating his time to surrender. Then some of us, I'm not going to call name here. Some of us, I'm talking about in the Liberian context sometimes, the way we think, the way we narrowly look at things, our perspective of being this and that on things and but hateful in some cases, we believe that someone that have not yet gone to court should not be granted bail. You see how repugnant and ridiculous that sound, my dear brother?
Yeah.
That sounds very repugnant and ridiculous. Now, here is a man that's already convicted. He's still negotiating for him to surrender. But yeah, we want to sit and say, if somebody were to go and file bond, the person should not be granted bail because of certain things. I don't know how we rationally look at things. These are the repugnant way we look at things and more ridiculous if anybody wanted to say this kind of a thing. And that's why our jurisprudence is clear. One is presumed innocent until otherwise proven guilty. But yeah, it's it in the great country of the United States of America, one has already proven guilty is still negotiating. I'm not getting into Stanton case, but I'm just trying to say those of us that can be bashing and say, why Samuel Eto'o is on bail? Samuel Eto'o is an innocent man. He is an innocent man. I don't know why we want to say Samuel Eto'o to be in jail while he's still innocent. And here is it. In this society, the guilty is still negotiating. I don't know how do we juxtapose those kind of circumstances. We need to make sense out of some of those things in reasonable sense, by the way.
Thank you. So
it's difficult to comprehend.
So, guys, that's the video I was talking about earlier, Dr. Peabody. You want us to, Tamale. So this is a video of a young woman. I don't know if you guys can see this, but again, as I stated earlier, she went in for her graduation. As you can see, it's clearly she's in the graduation hall, and police officer went in there to arrest this woman. Camera all on her. She had to, as you can see in the video, she was trying to shield her face from the camera. Again, embarrassingly, there are family and friends around there, but the principal brought police officers to get this young woman. But I would let you listen to the narrative from the video, and then hopefully we can discuss it and see, I mean, what was the logic in this entire decision to embarrass a young woman for simply wanting to celebrate success in her life. Listen for yourselves, folks.
Principal of SD school came to arrest one of his graduates from his school, all because he didn't pay $10 for gun fee after paying $125 for graduation fee. And government officially said that students should pay $100. And she has some call now going to court. On the campus, not go. On the campus. First time to see against story of school, they want your guys to get operator, very well,
So I think we already got the gist of it. And guys, personally, when I saw this video, let me give you guys a chance to talk. You guys go ahead, man. What is your reaction? That's a young woman who the value of education. We always ask for our girls to obtain, get the best. If you're a father, your brother, I want you to think about it. Your daughter or your sister being humiliated in such a manner on her graduation day. Anyway, let's hear from you guys, man.
So Lofa, let me jump on this thing first because I mean, looking at this movie, I'm down about that. Because when I heard about it first, I really thought like she had committed a crime. Because normally I know that if you commit a crime, a criminal offense, the police can arrest you anywhere, at any occasion, whatever. But hearing that the arrest of this lady and cuffing her is because she did not pay her graduation fees for the school. If that's the reason, and that is bad. And I encourage the lady, I hail her for the way she moved. The kind of humor she has, the kind of feeling she pull up. And I will pray and wish that this young lady will be a formidable female leader in this country. This is the beginning of growing a young woman for this country to be a leader. You understand? I mean, she would have broken down in tears. Like the way I saw her, I felt like my daughter is being, like humiliated. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those who have the kind of feeling for women, especially girls, when I see them going struggle difficulties. But to see this young lady going to school principal is saying because she did not pay her fees. The last time I listened to the English education program on the radio in Morovia was that no graduation fee should pay more than $100. And I even heard that I think the Catholic school system is cut our fees down to as low as I think $25 for graduation. But the government of the Liberian government, Ministry of Education, indicated that all graduation fees should be maximum $100. So if this girl was arrested during her occasion because she did not complete the payment of her graduation fees, while she was caught. I mean, my brother people here can a lot of people I know from Ivory Liberia had difficulties with paying the balance fee and things. To see a young lady at a high school level, being arrested and treated like this by whoever is involved, I really feel that it's not good at all. It's not good, and I think people should act in the interest of our lady to give her pride and dignity. And I really admire her for the way she moved with confidence. She has confidence in herself. Whatever reason they have done that to her, she's sure that whatever she did, she's not wrong. I mean, if she committed a crime, if she committed a criminal offense, that's a different case. But if the reason is because of graduation fees was not paid in full, which is above $100, then that's a problem.
Pee-wee, let's hear from you. Pee-wee, Alex, Timberlane.
Yeah, I think and this is part of the need now to re-emphasize the basic supervision role of the Ministry of Education. The Deputy Minister for Instruction need to be very key on this kind of a matter, because when those kind of instructions are coming from government institutions, we need to ensure that it's implemented, and with institutions, because that's part of the reason of our educational system. For the education system to be tough and other things, it have to be well regimented, and there should be some basic kind of regimentation, or let me put it this way, some regulations being fully put in place. Now, for the Ministry of Education to come out first and foremost with instructions that this is not going to pass this line, and another institution is coming. I know that for a clear fact that we've had kids back home in the country in school, and we still got both kids and other family members that we sometimes help to pay school fees, tuition and fees and other things that are institutions that are still doing those things. That is very clear. Now, but what the Ministry of Education needs to do now is a clear-cut process of beginning the process about ensuring that schools will be reprimanded for some of those things, administrators and the rest of that. If it is an administrator involved into those things, there should be penalties and some huge fine. If not, suspending their lesson for some academic year. Now, if you cannot suspend a lesson for academic year, you put some huge, very huge fine on those schools that will indulge into those kind of issues undermining the educational system of our country. Now, listen, if it is true, and I will also strike the balance here sometimes in many cases, if it is true that it was, now I've seen her in handcuff, but the reality of this, the story here is that is it established that it is because of $10 US after someone had paid $125 for graduation fee, the balance or rest of $10 US for gown fees or whatsoever. If that is true, I think the school need to be heavily fined. It is unfortunate. It is a kind of a public humiliation that were exhibited on a young lady, and they treated her in a more condescending and disdain manner. You don't treat human being in those kind of it is inhuman to treat people in those kind of a disdain manner, and you believe you're trying to implement a process of a fees payment. Now, it is clear in many cases when we were in school or back in other era back in the country, if you did not pay all of your fees and the other thing, there's a simple way to implement those things. Sometimes you will hold the person documentations and the person will pay the balance of the fees and they will be done. But to bring even the court that listen to those things, I think we need to find that magistrate or whosoever that did that, all of that should be taken to court, those things, because what is the process about who is the sheriff that did that implementation that carry on those kind of things? We will need to first and foremost find out someone not paying school issue on campus. You will put them in handcuff. I mean, if I was in the shoe of the young lady, we'll have to find out the platform to find the family, and we can sue the school for public humiliation and some damages that should be taken to her on the most serious note, if it is just on the basis of those things. But if it is otherwise, that she committed social crime or any other thing against the law of Liberia, that's a different case. And I don't think it seems to be that's the case. The real case is that she was something because she didn't pay a certain amount of money. That is very uncalled for. And we have to condemn it, as I'm condemning it now, but we also call on the Ministry of Education. Basically, the Office of the Deputy Minister for Instruction, we have to probe into this matter and punish this man and his school heavily, so that will serve as a kind of a warning to other would-be thinkers that will want to indulge into those kind of octave practice that will degrade and bring about those kind of negative flames on our educational system and in our public domain. I think that was an attempt to humiliate this young lady. And I thought she was very, very firm. She stood as a leader. She too firm, and she was unbothered about it because she felt she didn't do nothing morally wrong or legally wrong. I mean, hats off to her, and that's the kind of way to do things if you want to engage in those things. Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, obviously it's disturbing to find such a situation, no matter whether it's the sheriff or the police or whoever would supervise such a process. It makes no sense. How come she didn't get a bill? We were arguing 2 days ago that every Liberian is entitled to a bill if they commits a crime. So why she didn't get a bill to appear to court? Why was she arrested? But Samuel 12, he got a bill. He flew into the country. He went walk into the court. But the ordinary person, then the process doesn't work anymore. The government will just go and say, go arrest the person on their graduation. And these are the things we've been talking about. The country is a messed up trash. And it just needs to get rid of these people and just build a real system. There's no justice. There's no due process. It's only for the rich and the powerful and the government officials. How do you arrest a student? First of all, how do you even charge $100 for graduation in a country where people living on $2 a day? What sense does that make? Then we worry the children are involved in prostitution, the children are doing all these things. That you are making them do it because you're charging them fees. What's the point of charging a young person that never had a job before, maybe parents not even around, $100? Do people make $100 in Liberia? You know, who getting paid $, except for the big shop and the government official? But you charge an fee. Then you wonder why the society is so broken. You wonder why people on drugs. You wonder why there should be no fees. You pay. The last time we heard, we have said there was free tuition at university. The Constitution allowed for people to go to school in Liberia free, right? A public school, public institution should be available and accessible for everybody in Liberia to go to school, regardless of your social, your economic income. So why are they charging a fee for marching? You know, it doesn't, you know, these are the things in society that's broken. All right. And this is done under what? The Unity Party government, the experienced government. The people that who knows, you know, where some of your progressive and some of where Kofi Woos that used to be making noise on Samuel Doe. What does he have to say about it? Where Gonglo? Where is our humanity to see that a child in school is being handcuffed when all of the corruption cases in Liberia, we have yet to see serious people ever being handcuffed to go to court? But somebody going to school, she shouldn't pay the damn fee, because it's not right for somebody, a child, to go and pay extra money for some stupid commencement. Let them go. The Catholic school, that you said rightly, what's the crime? You know, it's already hard on students. We say almost 90% of the people not employed in the country, and you enforcing, you know, financial obligation to people that live in extreme poverty. Look at the wickedness. And government officials are riding $40,000 cars and
45.
traveling and living in 5-star hotels. Your president here eating breakfast for maybe $200-300. And they will come today, they will come in next election and say, oh yeah, we did well. We're working on the problem. So it's sad. You know, this is a dark day for Liberia to see that kind of incident happening. And nobody can speak about it. Kofi Woosner got a job now. What they've been running behind, you know. Gafu and got their jobs. They're making $5,000 and $10,000, but they were once poor. When they were poor people, because the time to you know today, that's not the same to I know. He used to live all the way into a street, all the way in the swamp. And at that time, he was praying to have a good government where it would serve everybody. At that time, if you could hear him, he was criticizing the Doe government and how there's no equity in society. But today, you know why he on the other side. And so many of these people today in government, when they get there, they forget about the ordinary people. So, and it's sad for us all here to be alive. Today, I regret even being born in our country to see this.
Wow. Tamale, you're gonna take over. So, do you want to just chime in, or you?
Yeah, chime in. No, move on.
Okay. Honestly, when I watched this video, credit to Franklin Wissett, who actually brought this entire thing to my attention, and yes, Cindy played it on her podcast as well. And I think that's the extent to which I have really heard anybody even bother to talk about it. This is humiliating. Our girls must be protected. Not only our, you know, when we educate our women in society, especially our girls, we are preparing the world for a much more vibrant society. I'm always hearing people say, you educate a woman, you educate the world. Okay. I'm not taking anything away from our boys in our community day to day, but we must protect them, the women. Okay. They are counted among some of the most vulnerable. Okay. When you're talking about vulnerable people in society, you're talking about the elderly folks, the women, children, and there you go. Before you even bother to come to boys or men. So you can clearly see to have this young woman who have gone through everything. There were so many options. Okay, you could have prevented her from entering the hall. Okay, you're not allowed admission until you pay the remaining $10. You didn't do that. Okay, you could have prevented her from even receiving the gown. You didn't do that, but you thought to humiliate this woman or this young girl among her friends, having to put handcuffs. You know how many of your government officials are stealing every day? They are walking sky-free, and these are the things that we talk about. I want to believe the law is only about I guess the 99.9% of the people, the 1% or less, it does not apply to them. They can do anything. You will have an Edwin Snow steal from you and walk sky-free. Nothing will be said about it. You know what's going to happen the next day? You will walk to Edwin Snow's house and ask him to pay your child's medical bill. This is a man who stole from you. Okay? A Yombly Kanga Lawrence would take from you. Or possibly, matter of fact, let me not be too civil in the statement, because I know some of the female activists or women activists will want to reference it as being disrespectful. Yombly and Otto have always been a part of the corrupt system. So yes, she stole, and she will steal from you. You will still help this woman, and you will see no reason. Yombly kids are here. They are benefiting from a system that works. Okay? Darius Dillon, who's supposed to have been the light, is today the darkness, will contribute to your poverty, taking away $45,000 vehicle. You see no reason. You're not going out there to embarrass Darius Dillon when he out here gallivanting the social media and pretending to be about governance when he don't even understand his responsibility. You're not upset about that, though. You did not ask the police to go to the airport and put handcuffs on this incompetent individual's hands and hopefully walk him to jail. You didn't ask for that. Okay? You sat there and let it all happen. There are so many other lawmakers whom I can reference. You are yet to bother them. But a young woman who simply said, let me just celebrate my achievement. You embarrass her. How are you to encourage other young women to see reason to want to go to school? Unlike other countries, especially the Western world, they encourage people. When you graduate, all of the teachers, they appreciate you for your graduation. Even if you struggle to graduate from high school, the fact that you went through the process and marched with your friends, you are highly appreciated. In Liberia, only the kids deserve to graduate. And that's why they don't allow the kids to go to the public schools. And that's why they will not invest so much money in the public institutions. They know why they're doing these things, because they want to keep us, okay? They want to keep us, the masses, at the bottom. Why their kids continue to progress? Because they don't think that we need to compete with their kids. They think that we should have no room at the table. We should always be kept at the very bottom, while the Darius Dillon, Yombly Kanga Lawrence, and other, the Fanatic Kofa, and other people continue to send their kids abroad to seek quality education. And those of us who cannot afford, okay, we stay at the bottom. We go to those public institutions where we sit on the ground and it rains on us. We sit on the blocks and we are uncomfortable. We are uncomfortably seated and we are made mockery of. But the Darius Dillon, the Yombly Kanga, the Fanatic Kofa, and other people, they continue to enjoy themselves and live glamorously, flamboyantly, and embarrass a young woman who had no reason to have endured what she went through. But you know what? There is a day, and the day is not too far, when Liberians will stand up, and they will stand up in the way the world will wonder again, is this what they really want? We experienced several years of uncivil war. A lot of people reference it as civil war. It was uncivil because we killed ourselves. But the time is coming again when Liberians will say to themselves, we are sick and tired of this nonsense. Rise up, Liberians, rise up. We deserve this not. Thank you.
Okay. Concerning that video, we try to get our guy on the ground to follow up on it. We'll try to see what he can find that girl and to get to the bottom of it. Even I will see that we can even get to the principal who did that to her, and even the Minister of Education, including the minister, try to get to them to find out exactly what's the problem, what happened. We will not just ignore it. We'll try to follow up on it. But before I go to our next turning, let me say this. The protest that was scheduled against President Boaga in Rhode Island has been canceled. Initially, they have said that let us protest, corruption is at the highest, and our people are still suffering due to poor leadership from President Boaga. His inability to make decisions is killing our people. Drugs are killing our young people. His ministers are making 15,000 and some more. Can't even mention what the senators and representatives are doing, buying 45,000 cars. His delegation is off the chart. We all denounce George Weah administration for corruption, poor leadership, and sin behavior. And it has gotten worse in just 9 months. Can't imagine in 6 years what will happen to Liberia. We need to speak up and stop being hypocrites or sycophants. Please join well-meaning Liberians to tell President Boaga will not endorse such poor leadership. Woe to those who seeking jobs trying to promote in administration. So that was they are planning to protest the program he's at right now, but then Senator Jack Reed apparently intervened, and that's why I was just sent. I'm told that our protest has been cut off due to respect for our beloved Senator Jack Reed. After a long dialogue with him today, he called, as the president of Liberian American community in Rhode Island, he's quoting, he called me today and we all had a long discussion. We have written him a letter of our concerns in Liberia. He has promised to raise those issues with President Boaga in their one-on-one meeting. He made it clear that he was not stopping us from protesting, but we all agree in our meeting tonight that we would let it go and give our senator the opportunity to engage the president. We appeal to all who did not attend our meeting to please stand down for respect of our senator. Thank you so they are planning to protest this evening at the program that President Boaga is personally attending, but apparently Senator Reed intervened. He talked to them and decided to call off the protest. So, and Senator Reed promised to, in meeting with President Boaga, that he would bring the issue up. So we are monitoring the events. Let's see what we get from that meeting, and we get more from it. But that's just from the Rhode Island, Liberian American community in Rhode Island. So, and these guys were determined to really dissolve that program. In America, people have the right to protest, and you can bring police there to just stand by. I remember the last time President, I thought he was vice president, he was in Pennsylvania. I attended that rally, also a town hall event, and the guys, he was as vice president, meeting with Liberians, and the guys then in Pennsylvania, the booing off the stage, the security guard taking off the stage. They couldn't end the program. Pennsylvania has been the place that Liberian political leaders don't intend to come here easy for event. President Sadi did all the time invited us, she did not show up. President Weah did not. And then Boaga too, I know he won't do any town event in Pennsylvania for the next 5 years. I can tell you that because this place is diverse, politically diverse. People come from all different sector and come with their grievances. But I'm hearing the speaker will be having a town hall event on Sunday. We'll see how that turns out. But so we'll be witnessing what happened on Sunday. But guys, just back to our show. The LSCC is investigating the Boaga administration for what they call off-budget spending. Huey, I want to start with you. What's your thought about Alexandra Zoe? She's the LSCC boss, right? What's your thought about her investigating the government for that off-budget spending? What's your thoughts about it?
I mean, basically, the role of the LSCC, basically that's the role. If she's as the chair of the commissioners, starting the process of being, because you need to project yourself to be not only competent but very independent. And in the process about exercising your job description, it is very important. And as per the act creating the LACC, it does give the powers to that institution to conduct all financial malfeasance on the part of the government and government officials, and then if it is where they imprudent, right? So they will have to do a balance, strike the balance there, and ensure that accountability and the fight against fraud, waste, and abuse is very paramount in the republic. So I think most of the stand have been taken, and the approach that she's taken to not politicize the process, but again work on accordingly, because whatsoever the LCC is engaged in recent time, what I've noticed is that they're doing those things on the basis of like they will receive, and they will have to do some, and that's the most responsible way and an anti-graft institutions way we want to and approach issues. First and foremost, you gather your intelligence and begin the process of launching what we call preliminary investigations into whatsoever findings that you collected, and then you see the weight of those evidence you collect. If those evidence that will come through the process, if they are comparable, when I mean really comparable, then you can use then you see the materialism into it. You can use that process to go to court, and it's part of what they're doing. So I think it's a very bold step, and it's difficult for those kind of things to happen in a society. If you see the LCC doing that, many, and we have to give some time, it is a little bit too early to see if there will be other arm twisting or other motive behind it, or political manipulation behind the process. But if they are not arm twisted, there's nothing to arm twist them and have them supported, and the president supporting them to have the job done the way they are engaged in the process now. That can be a boost to the office of the president, that he's prepared to fight corruption. If there's no interference, no political interference into this process, there's nothing like trying to backstab them or to manipulate them in the process about trying to redirect the investigation of the corruption process. And there should be no sugar daddy move here. No one should be given a particular privilege. So I think with this kind of a thing unfolding, Tony, on the part of the chairperson of the LCC, is in keeping with law and keeping with legislation. So it's a bold step that should be commended. But I would just want to call on them, and that's one of the reasons I would say to call on them to be non-political. There's no need to politicize this kind of an issue. We have to remove the sense of the political manipulation, the political dragging process. There's no room for any sort of demagogue, this sense of demagoguery attitude that have existed before in our society will have to be taken off. But yet, it's a bold step, and I commend the step, but it should be geared towards the investigations, patent, and those things that you saw there, in the sense of wherein there's a normal corruption. Because the LCC has got their own intelligent officers that are deployed in the fields. They will get information, and they will use those information and go more deeper into those institutions and uncover more things they will uncover. If those things are materially comparable, then because the past law, they were trying to give the LCC prosecutorial powers. It was saying 90 days. Now the LCC got exclusive prosecutorial powers. Now, it is not like before they get the 90 days. If the Ministry of Justice don't go to court, then they will begin the process of using their prosecutorial power. But now they got that exclusive right to go to court on their own. So the new law of the LCC is a little bit to give them more teeth to bite. It was the past one was somehow some toothless bulldog, but this bulldog got sufficient teeth to bite. I think there's a lot of things into that process that we can use against the fight against corruption.
Chuchu Jones, I'll piggyback on what Sylvester said. It is true. The present LCC, they have the amended act that was done by the WIA administration, gave them a lot of teeth to bite. So now, in fact, they are even one of the things about the independence. The president can remove any one of them. To remove anybody from that LCC board right now, it must be voted by the Senate. And the Senate got to vote them, and for a cause before they are removed. So they have a lot of authority, but and even the U.S. government respects them. They support them, technical and logistical support. So, with all of that being said, Do you think that they will because if you read the off budget spending that have been occurred, you realize that it is a need for investigation. So what is the confidence in the LACC, and what you think you would love to see happen at the end of the investigation?
I have zero confidence in the LACC and any other agency under this Walker administration. This is just another smoke screen. Okay. I was reading this shortly and I saw the amounts of money that were just spent from the speaker to the pro tem to the minister of state for funeral, for all kinds of useless things. When people work, they have insurance. Okay. Not every time a government official dies in Liberia, the government got to go and take out thousands of dollars. Okay. Usually that's not even appropriated to bury the person. So in the case of that, some of that money, I saw where they were taking thousands of dollars for every funeral. What's insurance are for? You know, somebody died, they should have insurance. And you can tell me for the president to show up to a funeral, you got to spend $16,000. And that you read the article, you will see that clearly. So that's the corruption. Look, this country is so rotten, like I can't even comprehend. All right. And so what the LACC gonna do? Nothing. They're serving under the tutelage of Boyka. He appointed some of them, and the Senate and the representative, as we all know, they're corrupt. So they're just gonna make news and headlines, but nothing is going to really.
Let me correct you. Why moving forward? He didn't appoint none of them. I want you to be corrected on that. He didn't appoint none of them because this is
okay. All right, he didn't appoint none of them, but
so please continue.
Yeah, but he removed. No, thank you for the correction. Sorry, I'm gonna get my charger here. But I won't get off. Yeah, he didn't appoint any of them. Thanks for the correction. Okay, but the people that were appointed that had tenure position, he used his power, including the central bank, and removed them. So obviously, the ones at the LACC, he wanted them there. At the telecommunication thing, board that had tenure, he removed them. So what difference does that make? So if he thought that these people were not capable people, if he didn't want to keep them there, he would have removed them illegally, just like he did every other tenure position. So what credit should he get? I mean, this president violates the law at every dime, every second. And it's good for the Liberian people. You know, it's really good for them because that's what they want. They saw a corrupt regime return and they embrace it. And now they're feeling the pinch. But I don't suspect anything will come out of it. I don't think any top government official is going to go to jail. There have been so many cases. You know, I know too, I was talking about it's not illegal for off-budget spending. Yes, it is. In the very article, it says it. Philanthropist said it, that if you spend money outside of the budget, it is illegal. It's stealing. I mean, you have laws that says how money should be spent. And if you take the money and use it, you know, on your own terms, you're breaking the law. In many countries, that's an impeachment. You know, in a serious country, under our law, you're breaking the law. It's no different from you holding, like you said, you know, somebody who stole from the market. But again, we have two-tier system. So once you got Walker administration, you can break the law. And then what they will say, oh, we're sorry. You know, and look at that kind of money, 15 million. They talked about the rice, the production of rice. Where has that gone? They talk about the assets recovery. Where has that gone? Then there's another scandal right now about the road funds, where I know we'll get to that. The minister, the deputy minister now fighting all the corrupt money that is stolen. And we say all these things. You know, we say these things here. And, you know, our colleague, that's why I'm very disappointed with some of us in America, because we see wrong. We see wrong, right? And we support it. And woe unto us. All our God family and members in Liberia, like somebody said, people are gonna get fed up one day. The Minister of Finance just came up and talked about the debt concern. I think you read the article right now where he said the Liberian debt is 2.5 billion. California just confirmed it, and it's at an elevated level, and it's approaching almost 60% of GDP. When I was saying it here 2 days ago, everybody was on my case again. I'm tired with you guys, man. Seriously.
Man, we don't want to go through a debate. You just
I'm just tired with you guys. So you know what?
People in this place.
I will beat you up for this because you were the main one.
No.
We will not be on the
Guys, let me on topic, guys.
Yeah, let's remain on
The man
topic.
spoke for more than 5 minutes. He's spitting out gibberish.
Yeah, because you interrupt.
Guys,
Because you were the main one yesterday.
Pee-wee, let's not do that.
Okay. Let's hear from Lufa now. Lufa, chime in on that.
Thank you, Chamberlain. You know, I want to first of all
Deviating.
start. I want to first of all
La
start.
Lofa causing there.
So you're saying I often deviate?
Now you Lofa, I said they are causing always deviating. They are causing
Anyway,
too much.
We're talking about corruption.
Anyway, let me
deviation.
speak to let me start my input from the point of the council protest. Let me just outright say there really wasn't a protest, a planned protest. It was an opportunity to hopefully attract some kind of attention, because if they really sincerely wanted to get their points across, it wouldn't have been based on the involvement of a U.S. A senator or representative to make them to cancel their protest. How many of his kids are in Liberia feeling the pinch? Okay, how many of his relatives are in Liberia feeling the pinch? So if they were sincerely about the people, they would have done what they needed to do to send the message across, a resounding message, and then ask to have a conversation, to have a follow-up, so that the message is clear to President Boakai that we are not here to joke. We didn't ask you to come to be the next president so that you can put Yombly, Darius DeLorme, and the entire government in your wallet to come out here and celebrate. In our Liberian Palang, they say Walker Ball. That's what they came out here to do. Okay? That's what they came out here to do. At the end of the day, it's not going to yield any result to Liberian. The UNGA, they came out here for the UNGA. And obviously, like you said, Tamale, the UNGA is at its conclusion. What are they doing around here, running around to appreciate? I mean, why President Boakai can't go back home to address some of the key issues in the country? He's out here walker ball. That's what he's doing over here. And then you say that these people are supposed to protest, and you guys are refusing to do that. Then that was not a protest. It was not intended to really do much for the people. Let's be honest. I think they're making market of us. Those of us that are really feeling the pinch, they're making market of us, because if you sincerely about protest, I remember a few years ago when some of us had to drive 6 hours to get to New York because we wanted to be out there for the protest, regardless of when people were calling to cancel protests, the likes of Vandella Patrick and other people, and they'll say, because our group is going this day, our group is going. Some of us said, no, we will go there. Regardless of which group show up, we will make sure that our voices are heard. We drove there. Even when they called for us to be there twice, we did what we needed to do. So I don't think these guys were serious as of recent, okay? Because of miscalculation on my part. I went to New York. I drove to New York. Tamale, you know about that. I drove to New York and drove back the next day because I wanted to be out there. I really thought that President Boakai would be speaking on Monday. I went out there. Unfortunately, I found out that his speech would have been on Wednesday, and my intended protest against him was planned for Monday. So I don't think that those folks were sincerely about protesting and embarrassing the group of thieves that we have claiming to be representatives of the Liberian people. Now to speak to the LACC issue. Let me be honest with you, Tomlin. Nothing is going to come out of it. Remember when President Boykai was out of the country and the LDA issue came up, right? You said upon the return of the president, there would have been something done about the LDA issue. Yes, he suspended the people. How long has it been since the investigation? Okay, we are still investigating. That's just one thing. Let's talk about the issue of the yellow machine. Okay, some government officials, appointed government officials who should have declared their assets are yet to declare their assets. I'm not even talking about the publishing aspect of it, but the declaring of their assets. They are yet to declare the asset, and President Boykai is yet to act upon it. The LDA issue, I already mentioned that. The investigation of the military wives. Have you heard anything about it? Somebody will say it is security related, so not much things are going to happen. The LPRC director, you are well informed, illegally withdrew funds. Have you heard anything about that? Oh no, the police brutality at King George. Have you heard anything about that? Oh, I guess not. You won't hear anything about this. Okay, and I can go on and on and on and on about the level of hypocrisy on the part of this government. The LACC process will go on because it's a charade. Why it is true that they're supposed to operate as an independent entity until, okay, and I leave a little bit of room to give them the opportunity to give my trust or to possibly bring me to shame until they can prove to be worthy of my trust and with backbone until they can investigate, provide the result from the investigation. And if there is need to, now without, clothed with the authority to prosecute, and then he prosecute somebody, I would then respect them. Until then, I have no respect or regard for anything they're doing. It's all bluff. It's all bluff. They're bluffing. And that's the reason why Samuel Tuah was courageous enough to come back to the country and say, I challenge you guys with everything that are happening. With the Amin Moda. Amin Moda's purchasing vehicles for what? $90-some thousand, and you would do nothing about it. You really think I care about you? The fact that Giddens and his boys can take $22 million and pretend to be investing in road constructions. And one day is road construction, the next day is road rehabilitation. You did nothing about it. You really think I care? I know President Boykai wouldn't do anything about this. The LACC would do nothing. They will continue this investigation until after his 6 years. And then we will come right back here and say, nothing came out of it. And that is where we will continue to be. Until they can prove to me they are not toothless bulldogs. Until they can prove that they are about what they are about. I have no trust in them. I think it's just another story to keep Liberians wishing and hoping that we will get success. Thank you.
Okay, guys, let me say this. If we want to discuss many things tonight, that will be limited in our response, because if we want to talk about the public works, his minister and his deputy fight that's ongoing, you want to talk about the issue between the vice president and Mamaka Benete, you want to talk about the former minister of finance appearance at the police station today, you want to talk about other stuff. That'll be take at least 2 minutes to respond on the issue so that we can have more time to discuss. But let me say this about the protests in Rhode Island, right? Look, I'll tell you this. Every state in America with Liberians community, they have different relationship. I can say this as a former resident of Rhode Island, Senator Jack Reed and Liberians in that state, they are very close. That's why since the Liberian government decided to honor him for what he did for Liberians, the grand Liberian status in this country, and honored by the president, these are something that he even reached out to engage them. I'm sure, like the president said, it was a long discussion they had. So sometimes you want to, because to have, you and I know, to easily get to these senators and the congressional people in this country, sometimes it takes a lot to get to them. So if you have that kind of relationship with your senator, you want to respect him. Give him, especially when he tells you, say, I will engage the president. I will bring the issue you are raising up with him one-on-one, which I respect Senator Reid would do. You want to give him that time. But I'll tell you the truth. This guy was determined I in a chat room with them, and they were determined to protest. It would have affected the program tonight. They would have affected that program because they were in it. They got the numbers there to do it. It would have affected the program. But so if the man tells them, say, well, he intervened, I mean, you give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
I mean, it may not be our next time. President Boyka got 5 more years in office. He always go to Rhode Island. I mean, you know, Rhode Island is dear to President Boyka. When he was vice president, where I used to be there, and he used to go there all the time. To one of his advisors now, Sir Johnny. So he always there when it comes to the U.S. So he will go to Rhode Island again. So if this time around, if nothing happens with the discussion with the senator, next time Rhode Island, now they have a point now. They will say, well, you told us the last time, say you will take it with him, and you bet with him, and don't take him for all of it. So I think, like, giving the benefit of the doubt, they were determined to protest. I'm telling you for that. But everybody have their own different view. But I thought they would have protest. Okay, but Johnny, from here about LSCC.
Yeah, so thank you, Tamalin. I mean, on the issue of the protest, I think it was good that the guy didn't protest because, you know, our government has been in the U.S. at the UN General Assembly, and they have a key objective they want to achieve, which is they are seeking for the seat at the non-permanent position. So in my mind, if that protest had gone on and getting in the public space, it would have, brought out something else about how can these guys want to have this position and their government is not respected by its people. So let me appreciate the team that listen to the U.S. Official to cancel their protests at this time. Hope they can do it next time, and that would be good. So going to the LACC, I think we should always learn to give our people a chance to do their work. I agree with what you two, everybody has said, that this will not happen because we have the reference in our country where most times, even in past government, will set committees to conduct investigation, and the findings will come out, and there will be no action taken. But let me say, to make the attempt to look into this matter is good for the government agency to do that because that's part of their duty. And what we can do as a people and as people who want to see the good for Liberia, it's always good to let the guy do their work. So if the SEC does her work and makes a report of this thing, and the next phase will be to conduct other prosecution or whatever. If it is not done, then we'll have a different issue to take up with them. So it's a good idea. Let them conduct investigation into the matter because clearly it is not appropriate to do things out of the budget. Like I heard from the former minister during our Monday discussion that it had been happening before. So because it has happened before, it means that it should always continue to happen. If it was wrong then, I think this is a time to correct everything that we have been doing wrong in this country for the last 177 years. That will help us. But if we keep saying, it happened before 10 years ago or happened in the last regime, so it's no problem today. So then why do we want regime change? Because these are things that we look up for and we say we needed a change in the interest of the people of Liberia. So the budget also is a law. Once the legislature acts on it, the president signs it, just as all other laws, when the president signs it, is effective and takes effect in the country, it's the same way as the budget. So going against the budget is a violation. It's clearly a violation. And that's why the last time in the meeting, you heard me asking 72 questions step by step. You guys didn't understand me. Is to get you to know that if the budget is a law and the budget is a national cake, so whatever happens on the budget must affect the people of the country. Not to affect only a few persons, maybe the 2-3% or 1% that is in government. So if the LACC wants to now exercise their authority by law to conduct investigation, I think we all should support them. We should encourage them to conduct the investigation. Let them get the facts. When the facts are established, the findings are up, we take it and keep it. We discuss it again on the platform to see whether the government will take action by doing prosecution, to see whether those are involved, if even their representatives or senators or whoever is involved, whether the law will take its course. Like today, if you all follow the news today, they are discovered new findings, new evidence against President Trump about the January 6th protest. So I'm just, for me as a Liberian that want us to do better for our country, I will advise us to give the LCC the opportunity to conduct the investigation. The findings will use it to discuss more in the future. Thank you.
The LSCC, indeed, like people said earlier, and I re-echoed, they have powers. They have this person, LSCC. They have no reason to fear, because they cannot be removed from office. You can't compare them with the tenure officials. This integrity institution, it was created by the act by law.
No,
So
too many 1 minute, 2 minutes. Don't bring an argument here. If you bring an argument, we'll spoil the discussion. There are agencies here.
I will spoil the discussion.
My man will listen.
No, don't say it was spoil the discussion. There's a real argument there.
Yeah, I'm saying, right? Listen, too many. The
Yeah.
issue of tenure positions, right? Those tenure positions that we have in our country by our constitution that cannot be tampered with by constitution. That's the GSC, the Election Commission, and I don't know where else, right? All those positions that were established by law, by governments, they all been violated in the past 8 or 9 months. We know that.
No, but
So I think one reason why this is not being touched is because probably the president has some explicit confidence in them to do their work. That's why there are some things that we can say, but as responsible citizens, you take our time to approach them one at a time.
No,
There's
but
a reason why they may have a current team of people at the LSCC that we don't know they know best. But that's why I said let us allow them to do their work.
yeah, but Johnny,
But in as much that you can do,
Johnny, I can tell you this though.
1 minute. Let me get finished though. In as much you can.
But it's taking a long time to finish.
The GSC, not GSC or the NASCOP, right? You deal with NASCOP. You did it with Central Bank. You did it with LTA. You did it with several tenure positions. So what are the different position to LCC? There's no big difference by law. Seriously.
Okay, let me say this. Don't forget now. You see, there are certain integrity institutions in our country that our foreign developmental partners are working closely with. They even support them through technical support and logistical support. LSCC is one area institution that our partner, the European Union, the U.S. government, they work with them closely. So to tamper with them, to just come and say you're removing our LSCC commissioner from there, you must have a reason. Okay, especially with them investigating the government, this present government, you can't just tamper with them. It will raise a lot of eyebrows. Except, I understand our lawmakers, we can consider them to be weak, but they will have to answer because they have the authority to remove these people, not the president. The president cannot remove them. It's clear in the law. The president cannot remove them. Only the legislature the senator can move them, can vote, can impeach them from the position. So,
but that's the same thing with the central bank.
Yeah, but the central bank,
according to the charter of the law that created a central bank.
Yeah, but guess what?
The president cannot remove the governor.
But guess what? The governor, they took you want to court, right? So you go to court and see it. But this
he doesn't even have to go to court. He cannot remove it.
He cannot do it. But guess what? That's what I said.
Tomani, 1 minute, please. We normally state in the open in this place that the president cannot remove. Granted, as per law, the president cannot. But again, we remember here in this very powerful country, they said that an FBI chief cannot be removed by the president, but James Comey was removed by Donald Trump. Listen, the process about the issue about where the president was, we try to exert his power in terms of where he believed the affairs of the national security will come in conflict with certain things. The president can move and take decision. Donald Trump removed James Comey as FBI chief. It was not in his powers to do that, right? When those things unfolded again, it happened in some cases. So again, we always just see Liberia as the only country. No, president exert their executive power in preserving the national security of a country. I'm not trying to justify on behalf of this president, but I'm just trying to draw a kind of analogy so that we believe and see the process that is not only, and then we are not isolated into the kind of decision making.
You're very wrong.
You're very wrong. Right, so it's unfolded in this place.
You're very wrong. Donald Trump did not remove.
What he did?
Alex.
Let's
get back to this. Tomlin is off. That get your response. That get your response to the discussion point from Tomlin, and then we can go on. Yeah, let's
I think
let's hear
we'll
from
go to
you
the next
on.
topic now, right?
Oh, he okay. Oh, he already spoke to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Well,
to the
yeah, I
next
guess
topic.
we're waiting for Tourmaline. Well, while we're waiting for Tourmaline to get here and discuss the next topic, I think this is one that we probably need to include in this discussion, though. The recent and hopefully, Alex, you can actually speak to it because I've been doing a whole lot of research on. I'm not a finance guy, but I am a little concerned. I listening to Liberians or the finance minister celebrate the recent. I think what is it? Was it a debt or a loan that was given to? Was not a debt waiver. It was a loan from the IMF. My concern here is as we continue to plunge ourselves in this whole debt related thing, okay, we are not sensing anything from all of the debt that we find ourselves in. Someone spoke earlier of the debt that we currently have that we have to deal with, that probably not even we, the next generation of people will have to deal with. And I heard of the current finance minister celebrating the fact that, hey, again, we may have been awarded another several amount of what $1 million, $1 billion. I want to get people's reaction. With this happening, what should we expect hopefully going forward based on the current state of the economy and the demands of the people with everything else that is happening? How can we expect anything good out of it? Or should we even, considering the current debt rate, the ratio of debt in our country? Let's start with, you know what? I will hold Alex for the line. Let's start with my brother Johnny, and then we'll go to Pee Wee and then Alex. Let's start in that context.
Yeah, but I think I would have preferred to have Alex. I think on the team right now, Alex is the financial and economic expert for us. So he will start the business, and then we
Eddie,
can
not
all.
financial, not expert for me.
Hey, Pee Wee, who are you to dictate who
But he's
professor
not. He's
is
not
No, that's
what?
Samuel
expert. You know what I'm
12.
saying? He's not
No,
expert.
that's Samuel 12,
Okay, Johnny, you could be.
that's Samuel 12, who
Johnny,
does not even know the
So,
employment,
Johnny,
employment report. And he the expert on finance
Pee
and
Wee,
economics.
Pee Wee.
Fail to
So
defend
Johnny,
what you're saying
Pee Wee,
here.
and then the reason why I thought to go in that order is to hopefully get those of us who are not, from the financial background to give our input, and then hopefully we can use Alex's expertise to correct our view or our opinion. And that's why I thought let's go in that order.
It will use Alex expertise here. We
Uh-huh.
will wait for the misinformed our listening audience.
Okay, then we okay, Pee Wee.
He's
Okay,
not a
in that
reliable-
case,
All right, thank you.
you want to do it. You want to be dismissive of this man's profession. Alex, I will let you start, and then you can challenge his claim. Let's do that. Alex, go ahead.
It's not about me. Listen to me. Listen. Before he
No,
continues,
Pee Wee, no.
Before he
No,
continues, it's not
let
about
the brother
me.
go.
It's
Pee
about
Wee,
what
Why
let
you
the
even
brother
wasting
go.
your time?
Go ahead.
Why
No,
you even
let him
wasting
go.
your time
Go
and
ahead,
energy
Chuchu.
behind Sylvester?
All right.
What you don't waste your time behind Sylvester, Okay. Look, I'm here because of the Liberian people. There's a lot of people who, do not understand these things. They go to elections, they elect people, and they can't see anything change in the country. But they see government officials riding cars, traveling, building houses, all this stuff. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for people that's from the investor or 12 or the people. Like I told you, they ain't worth the dust on the floor because they liars. The Minister of Finance, Gafoin, doing his confirmation hearing, which happened last month, here's his remarks. He said, and I quote, as of June 2024, Liberia's total debt has surged to a concerning 2.58 billion, with 1.78 billion or 45% domestic debt and 1.5 billion, 58.1% external debt as of June. So between June and now, when you go add the additional $209 million that the IMF approved, the amount that is disbursed, that would carry that amount even higher. So if they disburse 100 million, then we have 1.6 2.6 billion. Okay. He emphasized that the level of indebtedness has elevated to a ratio of the total debt stock of the country's GDP to 56.6%, placing Liberia at the median risk of debt distress. He warned that surpassing the crucial 60% threshold would escalate the risk, potentially limiting international financing access and tarnishing Liberia's fiscal standing. This is, I'm quoting the Minister of Finance, the current Minister of Finance. So he's confirmed what the debt is, $2.58 billion. And he's saying what we've been saying for years. So the reality here is the Liberian government is so poorly run that they can't even manage the revenue that they receive. So they put forth a budget with not enough money to cover that budget. So what they have to do, they go out and they borrow. What do you borrow from the IMF? You borrow from GT Bank. You borrow from African Development Bank. It's still a debt. You still have to pay it, and you have to pay it with interest. So Liberia paying close to $100 million every year on previous debt. And this was years ago when the debt was just maybe 1.8 billion. Okay. They're taking the money they're borrowing, instead of putting the money into real investments, or even, things like roads or infrastructure or education. Most of that money, as you can see in the budget, is going to recurring expenses, which means operations, travel, pay. 95% of our budget, all right, over the last 10 years has been purely recurring. No investment into education. So when you allocate a budget to the Ministry of Education to pay teachers and for, electricity, that's not an investment. That's not building new schools. That's not building new hospitals. All this money they borrow, the only thing they've done with it is to pay themselves, their travel, their allowances, their funeral, that's it. But yet Liberia will have to pay that money, no matter what government comes, with interest. So by the time, before we get to the end of this year, we'll probably be at 3 billion. Before we get to 2029, we'll probably be at 5 billion over what we owe because they waived the debt in 2010. All Liberia debt came up to around $4 billion. We made a lot of noise, a lot of African countries, the world came together and said we're going to waive the heavily indebted countries' debt. I was explaining this again on Monday. So they're not JJ Robert debt. This is a debt that just been accumulated over 18 years. From Ellen Johnson time to current. When Ellen Johnson, after they waived all the debt, they took almost $800 million new debt. We didn't see nothing for it. When we are king, he brought it up to 2.2 billion. So from 800 million now to 2 billion, Boga just been there 8 months, it 2.5 billion. I'm not making these things up. I'm reading directly from your Minister of Finance. It's published. So there's no investment, there's no growth, there's no higher pay for people, there's no opportunity for students, there's no industry that any of this money is going to. It's just going from the
Who presiding on the guest speaker?
Well, no, I mean, Tomlin is back.
I guest speaker. Gotta make that same thing.
Yes, I'm guest speaker. Back, so he's gonna continue.
It's just going for them to Wea Pake or to Joseph Boga Pake.
And it is at Tomlin's discretion to
yes.
move
forward. That's what the jet is being used.
I thought one of you guys were.
Yeah, look like you
I was, but you back. Let's not make this it.
Okay, let me progress, guys.
Land, we will continue.
Ellis land.
You will respond to Ellis. Don't worry. Ellis is about to land. You respond.
The thing about that is, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. You will hear me until 2029. So I'm not going nowhere. I got the time. I almost retired. I'm going to spend all my energy now on your administration.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay.
Thank you. I said, Peewee,
Yeah, thank you. Before I continue, let me, because I said
before you continue, let me hand things back to Timberland, and then
Okay.
because I would have charged me to, but
thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Let me, because this platform, we got some very serious-minded people on this platform that follow this platform very religiously, and we ought to give them some respect. So on May 9 of 2017, the president of the Federal Republic of the United of the Union, the United States of America, dismissed James Comey as FBI chief. That was on May 9. That's why we should not sit on this place to misinform our people. It was May 9 of 2017 when President Trump dismissed James Comey. So we ought to make that very clear, abundantly clear, so that the folks will understand what we are talking about here, so we cannot mislead them. So I've thought to move forward. I just thought to make this clarification so you understand these things. I will always correct you on this platform because I'm a research kind of a person. I'm a detailed kind of a person. I don't go with sentiments. I don't allow emotion to becloud my reasoning. So I take time to do my process. As an intellectual, it's our responsibility to be systematic in our approaches whenever we involve into this kind of a discourse. Now, let me inform you also in this platform that our debt portfolios is in two trenches, if you will. And I've just listened to you stay struggling and embarrassing yourself on this topic matter, and you find a serious problem. There's a gap here. We talked this the last time to time. It was more detailed when the former finance minister tried to provide you this information. But the fact that you saw with your knee-jerk approaches, what you did, you escaped the issue because you are so embarrassed because you are being dealt with by those that were commenting on the top. The rest of that, you left the show, and today you come again intentionally to mislead the public on these kind of issues. Now, we do have two trenches of our debt portfolio. We have our external debt, which of course the former minister was very correct on it to say is $1.2 billion. And we also do have our domestic debt. That is in different category. So the domestic debt is money being owned by Liberians, those that are in Liberia, our own people in the country. The money we owe them, different businesses that will provide service to the government of Liberia. That trench is also a different set of trench. So to come and always just read from, I don't know if the exact quotation you're giving from the current finance minister, and you're reading from someone on input, believing that you are an expert on this matter. You try to give your expert knowledge on this issue. But no, you're discussing nothing here. So you're trying to conflict the both portfolios of our debt management process in misinforming the folks about these things. Now, our external debt alone is not, and that's what the former minister said the last time. We always have to take some time to listen to these things and understand how the process of our debt issue is unfolding in the country. Now, to come out and say 95% of our budget is going to recurrent costs, that's a blatant misinformation. The recurrent costs as for the past 6 years in the country have been around 60% thereabout. It have been exponentially reduced by the past administration and working. Even this government is working on those things. How come we building roads? How come community roads being done? We putting money in other areas also. I do agree, principally, that we don't have the amount we need to put in the health sector, the agricultural sector, and that of the educational sector, and generally the infrastructure and in terms of infrastructure development. But recurrent costs is not 95%, even 95%. How do we build roads? All the roads that we're spending, how do we pump some money into the LDC areas and all of the little ones we pump in both into the agricultural sector, even less. Remember, the Weah administration pumped some money in less, the Liberian community for more community development, where we build a lot of other structure in rural Liberia in parts of that. That was part of the poverty reduction strategy. The PAPD. The PAPD instrument was meant to reduce poverty. It was an instrument by which the Weah administration tend to reduce poverty. And there were money placed in the budget for those things. Most of the money, and that's why the minister eloquently stated the last time when he appeared on Monday, that we reduce money for most of those recurrent areas and pump money into the area that will reduce our sensitivity to reduce poverty. The issue of a gasoline gasoline, fuel, and lubrication, gasoline and trash car was significantly reduced by the Weah administration. That's why even those of us that were privileged to serve as even junior minister in government, we didn't receive gasoline, we didn't receive trash car. We didn't receive that. In the past administration, the early administrations, those folks at the time received gasoline, received trash car, and received other things for entertainment. But the Weah administration reduced that by a very huge amount. So that's part of the reason why there was not more of laws for those things. In terms of procuring vehicles, there was a lot of time in the government budgeting process also, and that's why the significant process of the reduction in recurrent costs were exhibited by the past regime. Procurement of vehicles, fuel and lubrication, if you will, it was drastically reduced. So many, if you were to see in the budget system of our country, those line items that were pushing to recurrent expenditure was drastically reduced by the Weah administration, and the government believed it is time we concentrate on, for instance, road.
Wait. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
You're being, again, very broad with this whole drastically. Give us
drastically.
Give us numerical values. It's kind of important when you say it was drastically, because one could walk from here today thinking
when I mean,
up to 50%.
One minute, please. If you take in, for instance, amount for gasoline that will go to government official for the amount of sometimes $12 million to $2 million, how do you call that?
No. People,
I'm coming.
Specific as you speak.
That's what I'm saying.
The budget, because you reference people. That's my point, right? You're referencing the previous government, and you're speaking of the reduction. Mm-hmm. So give us specific, and because you said again, you're speaking from a hopefully a knowledgeable background because you work, so you will be able to give us numerical values. Okay, it was reduced from this amount. We had 20 million.
That's what I'm coming to. That's what I'm coming to.
And it was reduced by 10%.
That's what I'm coming to.
Just leave us in a vague.
No. I'm not leaving it vague. No, that's what I'm coming to.
Okay.
It was reduced, for instance, in the budget from 2017 to 2018. Mm-hmm. If you will go to first fuel alone, fuel, right? It was from the amount of $12 million to $2.6 million. That's the reduction. So you do your arithmetic from there, you will understand the difference we talk about here. Now, one of the reasons what I'm saying.
You said 2017. You said 2017. We your budget.
2018, 2019 budget. That was the budget.
Wait. 2017, 2018, 2019 budget, right?
Yeah, yes. 2017, 2018, 2019.
Lofa, what are we discussing? Are we comparing budgets or we discussing?
Yeah, and I don't.
I want to put my files together to verify.
You're right. I will soon learn you quickly. Let me say this. Right. My point was, the point I was trying to make, I think Johnny is trying to get. My point here is our recurrent expenditure in our budget system now is not 95%. That is blatantly misleading. It's not 95%. You, a finance person, go back to the budget and just see all those line items. We have 104 spending entities in our national budget. 104 spending entities. If you were to move into the budget, even currently, you find out that there's no money in the budget for many things about procuring vehicles. Those were part of the process that were taking heavy toll on the budget in terms of the recurrent expenditure and all those things, in terms of fuel and the lubrication, right? So all of those things were taking heavy toll on the Liberian budget. But again, if we want to focus on reducing poverty, as the Weah administration referred to it as the PAPD, right? I mean, the proper agenda stuck to ensure that we reduce heavily on those things. That's why in the first two periods of the budget, almost, there was nothing in the line item for vehicles. Vehicles that were inherited by the administration were those vehicles used at the time. So I just thought to start this balance and understand that there are trenches of our debt portfolio, and in those trenches of the debt portfolio, we do have a systematic process that will line up all those issues. I mean, so that's part of the reason why I thought to provide this very wonderful information for our listening audience, and then so we'll go and instruct the balance.
The audience will be the judge whether it was.
Yeah, they'll go and instruct the balance. That's why I said you should go and instruct the balance there, Antonio. But again, before I close quickly, the former FBI chief was actually dismissed by Donald Trump, and you said he resigned. He didn't resign.
So okay, let's Johnny, chime in. You wanted Alex and Sylvester to chime in first. So let's hear from you on this particular part of the conversation.
Okay, so thank you. I'm a bit confused when we talk about the recurrent expenses being around. I think people are happy we see around 60%.
That's what I was trying to get.
I mean, because I know that
It been reduced. It's been drastically reduced. Yeah, it's not that before.
Johnny,
Not
please.
before.
Well, guys, let Johnny land now. Guys, hold on. Let Johnny land. Let him
No,
get across.
listen, here, I mean, we all are professionals, and I like to respect people for their profession.
Right.
And they can prove me otherwise. That's why I say I wanted for our brother Chuchu to provide our expert opinion on this matter. Then we all can bring our contribution to it. Because
Right.
this speaking, this platform is not about us trying to like undermine every issue of us, record or
I want to get a water to drink, please.
So my point is, Chuchu, I mean, my time I have, I will let you myself discuss it. I will let you come in to support him because I'm not a financial expert.
Okay.
And I want to rely on him. So clearly, I will allow him to come in to support what I want to see because
Okay.
I know that in this current budget year, when it came out, it was somewhere around 80-90% recurrent amount in the budget. I'm not too sure, but Chuchu can help me. It came out. And even in the past regime, I've never heard ever in the last 18 years where our national budget had a recurrent amount of 60% of our budget. If it ever happened, the level of services provided by government should be more than what we got right now in Liberia. If I ever happen, in my view. Because like I was discussing the other day with the Minister of Finance when he came on the show, telling me about how they have breakdown, reduce costs, everything. I said, so what is the area you think Liberia can be progressing to improve our economy? He referenced agriculture. Then I told him how much the government of Liberia put into the national budget for agriculture. He said it was small because it was depending on international support to go to the agriculture sector, right? So if currently we have the debt of $2.58 US into debt, both internal and external. And Chuchu, please help me. Did you say how much of that is domestic?
1.2, I think.
1.2 thereabout. And then we had
about that amount. Yeah.
Then
What are the actual number here? 1 second.
So the external should be then 1.3 if it's 1.2.
So, yeah, 1 second.
So yeah, why are you looking for that? So my issue is if our debt is at 2.5, and like we heard from the finance minister that if we exceed this, there's a margin, there's a point when we arrive to as a government, as a country, you will be denied access to international financing. So my concern right now is how do we as a country now, knowing that we have this benchmark to not arrive at in our financial management system, what are we doing to ensure that whatever we are generating as a revenue from home, we can impact our people's life? I mean, I have always said, even if right now Boga is telling us that, President Boga government telling us that they have cut down drastically, like my brother people is saying, how is that drastic cut down impacting the living condition of our people in the country? How is it that we have a cut down? We have a young girl that went to school, they are accusing her, they are behind her because she did not pay her or she did not pay her graduation fees. So how is our national budget? How is the national cake serving the people? Is a national cake? Is a national cake giving us like 10% and 90% going to those that are in government, working for government? And I've always been concerned. It appears that government has been worried when we're paying salaries as compared to providing services to people to benefit, right? So if we are at a debt of $2.53 billion debt, we have internal debt of 1.3 or debt about, 1.2 or debt about. So internal debt, how do we arrive at internal debt? How? So because we are taking debt from outside to service our activities in the country. So how can we borrow money from outside? Then it appears that we are taking good and service of people in the country and we're not paying them. So that's my view. Except that Chuchu, my financial person I trust on the platform, can clarify to me how do we acquire 1.2 or thereabout and in domestic debt, and we have.
You're talking about debt now.
I think. Well, Definitely, we will discuss
Okay,
it.
let me
I'm not
clarify
asking you.
something, Johnny.
No, you
Oh,
can
Johnny.
come in. I mean, everybody
Okay.
have chimed
I
in.
will.
If you have another topic, let's
No.
get
I know what you're talking. I want
Okay,
to.
you just ask a question. Okay, so Johnny,
Yeah.
first of all, let me just say, Pee-wee making, interrupting and trying to disrupt the conversation.
Okay, about Pee-wee.
Don't listen to him, because I move beyond listening to him, Twe, and all these kind of people, because that's a job to get disrupt, so confuse the Liberian people. The actual debt, as of today, is 2.58. Of that amount, the domestic debt is 1,178 billion. Okay, and 1.5 is the external debt. So your question was, if we're taking 1.5 billion with borrowing, that means outside entities, IMF, World Bank, all these entities, European Union. Why are we borrowing $1 billion, or why have we borrowed $1 billion eternally?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I was very clear on Saturday, and Lofa, later on you can go and look at the tape. When I said the total amount, I talked about the total debt in Liberia was around 2.3 billion. I was not just talking about internal, external, because debt is debt.
But you're accusing the CDC government of accumulating all the debt. You said
No. Again, like I said, if you listen to me very clearly, I said the CDC government over 6 years borrowed 1 billion in debt, and I stand by my statement, and I challenge any soul. Challenge.
No, but I mean, honestly, I think the former minister, I think you put out a chat. And
let's just allow.
Okay. No, but like I said, you know, out of there are a lot of people who study finance. There are a lot of people who study finance. I'm not the only one. You can pick up the phone. You can call. You can pick up the phone. You can call any individual neutral financial person and ask them the same question right on the line. You can call Carter. You can call Ikafuan.
But you put out a chat on Monday, and that chat was leading to what you did.
I beg you, man. The
chat that I put up was not for the debt. It was for the reporting of the unemployment rate, which the CDC.
You were talking about the debt in our document we're reading it.
No, what I put up was a document from the central government.
You're making it 2.3 billion in debt. I'm not interested in what I discussed with Minister of Finance. To go and meet discussion,
and nobody is interested in it. You know what I mean?
That is finale. Look at the 2.58 that we're looking at now. About me, I'm not a finance person. I'm just asking as the Liberian to provide.
And the interesting thing about it is you don't even need to be a finance person to understand simple math. The thing is written all in the newspaper. If you go and just Google right now, what is Liberian debt, total debt, it will tell you it. So you don't even need to.
We owe 2.5, and Liberian government owe 1.5 as external debt, right?
Correct.
From borrowing money from outside. So the borrowing money that we owe that is internal, what does that mean? Internal debt. It said that we took services or goods of people internally we didn't pay. That's what I want to understand.
Yeah. So some of it, for instance, how they fixing the rule. So the $20 million they say they're going to fix rule. The government will go and ask these construction companies to do work.
To pre-finance.
And if the work is done and the government can pay them, that's considered domestic debt. Another thing that the CDC government did was they issued this.
CDC government need just discuss the process to us, please.
Well, okay. They went to the central bank, right, and they borrowed from the central bank. Yeah. I guess sensitive when you call CDC.
Yeah, I don't want confusion. Right. Yeah,
okay. So they borrowed loans, and it's all in the budget. They went in there, issued paper.
That takes some cost back. You're talking about
so borrowing from the central bank, basically, in the commercial bank. So they were making laws about. So let me make the last point.
Next week or something.
No, let me make this last point here. So they're seeing that the banks in Liberia can loan money to people to do business, but why the bank can do that is because the government goes and to the central bank issue them debt loan. That's where that $1 billion coming from. Half of it coming from commercial banks. No, I was saying, listen to the queen. I said, all right, not the people. Not the
The
people. The
people.
government itself is the largest debtor to the Liberian commercial banks.
Tuju Jones, they got a list of Liberian that told loans.
Yeah,
from the
but that's
government.
not what I'm talking about. That's not
But
what I'm talking about. No,
guys,
no,
look,
I understand.
that's
I
of course,
understand.
my
And- and-
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
and let me
why,
just say this.
why did what's his name?
I know why they're a little interrupt. Okay, I'm not
What does
saying
he
that.
leave? The guys
I'm
in
not
studio
saying
left.
that
Where-
everybody
what's
pays.
going
Every
on?
bank in the
Guys,
world,
students are there. They come
people
and
don't pay.
take some calls now, guys.
Okay,
Come, let's take
every
calls.
banks in the world, all right, there are people who don't pay bank. I can assure you, if you go to Echo Bank and you go to Guaranteed Bank, whatever, those people are making money. They are lending. They're making money. If they wasn't making money, you think it would be in Liberia. So that lie that is spreading that the people don't pay back. How you have you read Echo Bank profit out of Liberia in the last 6 years? They made a lot of money. The only banks in Liberia that don't make money like LBDI because it's useless and it's not managed. These banks are making money.
All the guys that thought he just slam people down. All he does.
Okay, so
But it's the truth.
Thank you. So then, Timothy, then you can now go for your calls. Thank you.
Gotta take some calls because
Let's take some calls. The guys
on
in
a serious
studio.
note, right? The organizer of Real Economic Show where we bring economists here and they discuss about the debts, our external and domestic debts. Let's talk. So you bring people. Tuju Jones, I would love for you to be on our program. Bring people out to discuss it instead of all just coming there throwing numbers and throwing things. Then
Well, Toto Musa Bede, because I created a whole show called Business and Economic Forum where I brought
Oh, no. We're talking. No.
No. And what happened? The
talking about
boycott
here.
people went hijacked the show. The boycott people, they hijacked the show. Why? Because we're exposing them.
this guy.
So we already did that.
Look,
That's how wicked these people are.
Alex, I think
No,
what Tamale is trying to say, God, we got a guy in studio. Let's take a few calls on the folks back home, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
I begin hearing how you do.
We'll close on the I want to put man.
No, I want you to.
Zero
Somebody you mentioned a topic I really want us to talk about. But I
61 0777 28 59 61 777 These are the two numbers, and they're going to be live here on the closing argument here tonight on the Renaissance Radio 96.12 FM. 0777 28 59 61 777 Let's get to the line to pick up our very first call. 0777 28 59 61 777 Oh my God. 0770 28 59 61 777 5961 777 017635. These are the two numbers. Placing your call, and they're going to talk on issues that our panelists are discussing here tonight on the closing argument. You now have the calls on private number. No, don't call on private. Take your number from on private and then call 0777 28 59 61.
Good job.
Yes, please do not call us on private. Please. The line is out of the Germany. 0777 017635 777 961. The calls are coming, boy. It is Jeremy Atwade.
They won.
So, yeah. So,
to be honest with you, why the people are still calling when Henry took call, I think we can take the caller on the line. But my thing is this entire UNGA trip where people are just running around from one state to another. My concern here is the fact that some of us sat on these very platforms. We insulted President Weah. Let's be fair. This is what puzzled me about this excuse nonsense we reference as government. Okay? We spoke of the incompetence of President Weah. And that's why I told a friend of mine today who called me from Liberia and he said to me, he said, Lofa, President Weah is still popular. I said, damn yeah, he will remain popular when the failure and incompetence of this government continue to make him look better than he was. You think how this government shown to be much more competent and reliable than President Weah, you would have seen people going out there. Yes, President Weah's popularity will remain to some extent. But here's the reality, though. The people may not have been as they were at his birthday celebration when he wasn't even present. It was just mere members of the party that actually were able to gather people to go celebrate this man's birthday. It is based on the sole failure and incompetence of this incompetent government that people are still looking back to see President Weah as an option. And when we say these people want to get upset, that is the reality. This boycott government has shown to be nothing more than failure. Look at the nonsense. Did you guys see what George Lobo did today? This man literally staged somebody to record him. Can you guys believe this? The same exact things that were happening during the CDC government. During the CDC government and they complain about these things. Now they are doing exactly the same thing, probably even more. How you expect the people to see the CDC government? You expect to see them? Remember when the people were complaining that Ellen was better off than George Weah? Because George Weah were probably shown to be much more of a failure. And President Boycott and his group, they're not doing anything, but they're just showing to be how they are much corrupt. They are yet to show to us that they have investigated and prosecuted anybody who's a part of the corruption in Liberia. They are shown to be much more corrupt from the House to every part of government. Giddens and his boys stole $22 million. They are yet to account for the stolen $22 million. They are telling us that they are carrying on raw rehabilitation when these boys
save your breath, bro. Let's take the call from Liberia people. Save your breath.
Yeah, well, let him call. Let's take the call from Liberia. When they call,
save your breath, over. Save your breath.
Again, let this on call. We'll actually come back with that.
Yeah, parenting your calls, man.
Former President George Weah. It was actually something amazing. Today's very first caller. Hello.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing okay. You have to just away from your monitor. I'm still getting the feedback.
Hello?
Go ahead.
This is your vision event, bro. Francis Email calling for Patrick Patrick to be the freeway.
Okay, Francis, make a point. A minute.
Yeah, thank you for the show. But just to say that you can't take black, you replace it with brown. So it's just saying. Unity Party noted for corruption. So like they just starting. That's why I just say they just starting. That's just prelude. The people who are suffering all around here, they say the bare option is to put unity back, but they don't know they can call corruption people. The people that start here, they are fire to go. No to come. Thank you.
The struggle. Fire struggle. 07728 59 61 077. To this corner. Hello. How are you, sir? Your name from what you doing?
I'm James Lama Kamara from the Nigerian Civil Rights Movement. Let me appreciate your panelists on the show. The closing argument is really gaining momentum in our country. You people are doing well with the qualified people, their expertise on the show. We appreciate them. And my advice to the team on the show, we admire you, we admire your deliberation, but it's like you have to be mindful of the way you react to one another. You are all professionals, believe in your education, but if one would intend to show that you know more than other people, there'll be no respect among you guys. And we, the followers, will not admire you greatly. We admire the debate calls. Thank you very much for that. And that is just about 200 black presidents that we know. And I'm good for some Alex to and they get all in the crookedness. When that happens, We just need to stand strong as Liberians. We are good at changing leaders, but we are not good at holding our leaders' feet to the fire. And to learn that, to keep our leaders' feet to the fire. We cannot keep waiting for election days to say that wait for 2029. Who knows whether you may live to see 2029? So we have to learn as to how we can keep our government feet to the fire. Whosoever can be the president of Liberia to be accountable to the people. Thank you very much for that opportunity.
Thank you so kindly. That's it. We don't have to wait for election before making the right decisions. But that's it. We are in the struggle. Just a climax to a year, and then we start the other year. There's a whole 6-year struggle. To this quarter. Hello. How are you? Your name from where you join us? You're coming broken.
Yeah, okay. As I was listening to the man, for every woman,
No, we are not getting you. You have to call back. Hello? You have to call back. We are not getting you. To this caller. Hello? Just away from monitor, please. Make your point.
Yeah, thank you very much for the talking point. But to our people to the diaspora, if they evaluate the system when it comes to Liberia, who are very hard for Liberia, we have to look at it keenly and see because just the future that we're talking about. Okay, now we're talking about 9 more in power. And the power 9 more, the same 9 more you spend in power now, and the past 9 more, the differences declaring. But now we're discussing the community. But just 9 more that we're discussing, nothing that we can show off. So sometimes we need to check between the lines and see the reality because this is Mama Liberia that we're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. 07728 5961 07728 5961. Placing your coin and make your point on the closing argument. To this caller. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Your name from where you join us?
Yes, my name is Francis Do, calling from Toason, Mangibi County.
Make your point, Francis.
Yes, I just want to appreciate you guys for your great job, for keeping the Liberian people informed. But we don't know. We're still waiting, but so far so good. The government are not really working on things. They talk about corruption. They talk about all kinds of things that the past government were there. Going to America on the scene, UNGA, on Facebook 24 hours, online. The same thing is doing it. Oh, someone then carrying their children, their girlfriend. What we should do?
Okay.
Also, President, we will always show strength. Yesterday, the men in the country, people gather, they say people use bodies to community. Yesterday is never happy. Look how happy people cannot eat the rain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If they dry those soup, before the dog get dry, what you'll be eating. Okay. So this call, your name from where you join us. Good morning.
Headlines busy. That's good.
Fresh and Sunny calling from one of the chairperson of the Majesty Integration Movement.
Okay, Prince, make your point.
Yeah, actually, I would like to.
Oh my God. Oh, no, organization, not country.
Yeah, because we want to see that we are being transformed.
Yes, that's our prayer.
Oh my goodness. What happened? What happened to Henry again? Henry, I think he got disconnected from his end. He mistakenly hit the I guess the network went down from Henry's end. Guys, we have the dashboard number. We got at least about what? How many minutes we have left?
We got 10 more minutes. 10 minutes for the show.
Okay.
Discussion about Basu. So, in running of politics, when you see President Barker now, everyone talking President Barker. But for me, I'm not for TDC, I'm not for the Unity Party. I'm for Liberia. Because one thing is, Liberia remains supreme.
Okay, thank you.
Because it's our major paramount process.
Okay, Chief. Thank you.
Sorry for the discussion, but I beg you, I want us to have a tete-a-tete on our discussion because we want to see that God being transformed. That God transformation will come through the youth, the generation, the new generation, the youth.
Okay.
Be more kindness in the argue.
Thank you, sir. So let's call up. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? From where you join us?
I am TC Kamara from Braville.
Braville, make your point.
My point here is, they baffle me.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Look, in 9 months, there was a zero policy decision that former president took in 9 months that affected the life of one person. You are hearing in one. I am free to President Webb, now yes. He said, I will do it for the people of this country. Because anybody that provide action, you provide all for your people.
No, we are not getting you. The network is out of the bar from your end. We ain't getting what you're saying actually. So let's call up. Good morning.
Hey, last call, man. So please.
Yeah, let's take just 2 more and then we'll turn back to the panel. We gotta go. So let's call up. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you from where you join us?
This is what is calling from this.
From District 15. Make your point.
Yeah, I want to say thank you this morning. So I give me a big for your 10 lives. This morning I've called to repeat to just an argument against someone in church. So far, we have to play a thing.
Okay, we're talking. Hello. That's the same thing we're talking here. Many a times the decision we make, we'll forget that it will affect us in the nearest future to come. So at the moment, we're not discussing any humanitarian story. We're talking politics. What mechanism can we put in place now as we gear up for 2029? Yes, because on the same platform we help an individual, and at the end we did not get nothing out of it. It came back on the bad hand. So when we open the line, when we talking our political thoughts, that's true. You're right about that. Your one vote couldn't do anything, but it could help. But at the moment, what I'm saying is that I'm not talking about your vote.
Yeah, tell the person number and the person the person number down.
Yes.
Anybody, this might help that person. Tell the person number down.
Yeah. So to this very last caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chief.
How are you, sir? Your name from where you join us?
I live Maggie. Yeah, listen to the show. And then, you know what we should do now? Elaborate.
Tell us.
That's good. The parable are saying that the people are not now knowing the more, they will variate.
Okay.
That's good. The way we should do now, let all things Labrador, you Labrador, and then put Labrador first. Don't forget about the political aspect. The whole thing we are talking, we are this, that, we are the individual. And then work out the individual. And then forget about the whole individual being there. Then think Labrador, you Labrador together.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. We should think Labrador, love Labrador, and build Labrador. Okay. We hear you. Thank you. So that's it.
Yes. Guys, let's do our closing, man. But before you do your closing, let me ask the question. First of all, let me ask the question. You guys can answer in 1 minute, please. I beg everyone. Do you expect Do you expect there will be a major reshuffle in President Boyga's government before the end of this year? Secondly, do you expect there will be any major protests in the country before the end of this year? And lastly, do you expect to be a major shift in the political landscape before the end of this year? Just in 1 minute, you can answer that question, and you can do your closing. Thank you.
So, Tourmaline, I want to ask. So, you first of all, you said the whether there will be a major shuffle in President excuse me, Boycott, okay, reshuffling, okay, and then whether there will be a protest, and what was the third one?
Whether it will be you expect to be a major shift in the political landscape before the end of this year.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
All right, I'll go first, and I'll just tell you based on what you just mentioned, and I'll give you my key points. Right, shuffling in the upcoming days. No, why? Go back to the CPP days. President Boykai visited to the United States. He promised Liberian upon his return when the CPP was in chaos. He said, "Upon my return, I will unite the CPP." When he returned, nothing happened. It showed to have been the fact that President Boykai don't believe in honesty. He said things to satisfy the moment, and that was it. Secondly, shift in the political landscape that already happened. Okay, the shift in the political landscape happened the moment the UP government showed to be incompetent, unreliable, and inconsistent in anything they have promised. The people now they are in search of what they will consider a true rescue, not an excuse or recuse like the former finance minister would have referenced. And I think those are, hopefully I actually spoke to the 3 points that you wanted, but nothing is going to change. This is going to be the same thing consistently. I'm sorry, Tourmaline, if you expected anything or if you expect anything, sorry to say, go back to sleep and you're happy.
Yeah, too many. I think these questions you're asking, personally, I don't think there are issues for me to even consider. I mean, the Liberian people voted for President Boykai and his team. So it is up to up to him to provide governance. Whether he does reshuffle or maintains his government as it is, it's up to him because he got his team. He won his team. He's the manager for his team. If he thinks that the team is doing well, good. So I don't think I have an answer for that question to know whether he will reshuffle his team or not. He has a team. He built a team. He has a confidence in them, so he knows what they should be doing. He is the vision bearer for his team. So if the team members are going along with his vision, good. If they are not, he will take action. So that's it. In terms of the issue of what? Protest? Well, it depends on the way we see the society moving. If the population realize that the government is not doing what they have to do for them in this period of the first 1 year, they can decide to speak up. For me, protest is a word of speech. We have verbal speech and non-verbal speech. So when you protest, even if you don't talk, you just stand somewhere, and your intent for standing there is to tell people that you mean something. You are protesting, And sometimes I get to talk a little bit about protest because Liberians have been made to think that protest means violence, protest means war. Protest is a tenet of democracy. It's required in democracy. You can protest against your leader. You can protest against the way you are treated. So most times, people protest the thing that you want to make trouble, you want to bring confusion, you want to undermine the government, or you want to bring the government down. It is most times the response of the government to the protester that can bring about violence. So, protest, yes, depending on what happened. We've gone 9 months already, right? So if the people feel that we should give President Boykai another 1 year to set his bearing properly, then we can begin to hold him more accountable. Fine. Let me personally, I would say that the next fiscal budget for President Boykai government will be the one that will begin now to think that Boykai will carry up forward or not. I believe the first 1 year, 12 months he spent, what they put together, maybe I guess they were in a hurry, and I can give that to them. But the next budget for 2025, the way they will craft it, they will organize it, that will tell me that President Boakai government is ready to move forward. It is from that budget, I will begin to be critical more of President Boakai's government than what I'm doing right now. So protest is I don't expect any protest now. In my own view, I don't expect any protest now. On the time of the shifting, yeah. I mean, obviously there are people preparing themselves for 2029, and we expect to see new names, new individuals, and the new moves like in the last election. A lot of people came in. We had Cassette from the US. We had, everybody came with a lot of people coming in later on, and it ended up with few persons, getting involved with elections. So, of course, we expect new people to come because once the country is not going the way, and the other people think about it, they will get involved. They want to provide leadership too. And like my brother Chuchu here, we're all thinking about how to bring leadership to this country. I mean, I've been here now. This is almost like gone 2 weeks. I'm looking at things that are worrying me. Why is my country not like this?
Okay.
Seriously, right? I mean, I drove around in Atlanta, went around places. I went to the university. I did my lecture, right? And I'm in the classroom, looking at the classroom. What is so special about the classroom that I can have that kind of classroom in Liberia at the University of Liberia or any university? You understand? I mean, they drove me around the campus. I walked around the university campus. And this is a state university in America, Kansas State University. I went to I've seen places, I'm wondering, why is Liberia not like this? Look,
The answer is your people are corrupt.
we are close, right? My first time in Holland, to Ultra University, I came downstairs, I dug the ground. I want to know why the ground are standing on the same ground in Liberia. The reason was, why is this people pay more than me when we're doing urban planning? They were showing me the picture of Ultra University campus, Ultra City, in 1985, what it looked like. They showed me Ultra University, Ultra City, what it looked like in 2005. We've seen the change in the infrastructure, the social structures, and everything. But why is my country like this? So I'm wondering one of the land I was standing on was a different land from what I have in Liberia. But I wanted to realize that the same grass growing there, even right here in America, I see leaves and trees that look like trees that can grow in Lofa. So why is our country not doing better in this country? So, frankly speaking to you guys, I hope we all can rally around and we can see new faces that will bring about genuine change and improvement in the country. Thank you.
Yeah, a very good show again. I like when all the people are here because we can have a real meaningful discussion. But I don't see any change in the next year or so. I don't see any hope. Economic projections are bad, worse. You're not going to be able to improve things. The growth not going to go beyond 5%. Even if it goes to 7%, it's not going to do much. Employment is going to, there's no even metric for employment. So this government is finished. The only question here, again, because they don't listen. We said these things earlier on. They got there. They came in with all this boastfulness and cockiness from the Unity Party people as usual. And they were not looking for help. A lot of people were willing to help them, for the country's sake. But a very arrogant group of people that feels they know everything. And so here they are. This government is done. Economically, at least, it's done. You will have to bring Alan Greenspan, or I don't know who, Tim Gagner second face the economy. Because again, you have a huge gap between expenditure and revenue. And you borrow, you make it worse. And there's no growth. And other things in the world today, who care about Liberia? You got Middle East, you got, other crises. So my only recommendation before it gets too late would be, if I was advising the president has to start, preparing his departure to step down, because if he does that, then at least, they can blame it on his age, they can blame it on, and he can perhaps maybe the vice president at this point can put together a more neutral team of Liberians from all walks of life. That would give the people another year to say, okay, let's see what's going on. The old man was too old. He didn't know what he was doing. We made a mistake, but let's regovern us. If they don't do that, then obviously, I think our reading today, President Weah is back in the race. I think he will be a formidable candidate. And I think I'm the only person who will be able to stop President Weah, quite frankly. I don't see anybody in the Unity Party can even confront Twe. or to educate the Liberian people on what errors they've made, and what blunders. They're going to come, they're going to lie, they're going to take over all the media, they're going to plan the people. And if you don't fight them, and you're not able to really educate our Liberian people, especially young people, then we can see another president. We have presidency coming in 2020.
Well, let me come in. For me, I would say this. I foresee reshuffle in this government before the end of this year. Yesterday, what happened? In fact, talking to one of the UP officials today, they said, "Look, Lofa just alluded to it too. Said that what we're looking at, the person said they were driving and around the CDC headquarters, and what they saw, they said if the ruling party cannot, if we cannot take from what we're looking at today, to know that this man in his absence, all what they have said about him, they said about this man in his absence, he's thousands of miles away, and the partisans, they came on at their own volition, they walked. Some people walked to go and celebrate President Weah's birthday. I mean, take your lead. I mean, liking or hating.
Thank you.
That is popular. The guy is likable. So if the guy said, "Look, from what we're looking at," he said, it should be a rude awakening for our people to say, "Look, like what you said," and Johnny, to recalibrate. But if what's happening in Liberia continues after coming to 2020, end of 2025, then you know that the UP is the UP, like somebody said, like then maybe and Chuchu June spoke and agree with you. We'll say I think they're done. But this budget year, they already temper. We know the temper already, but that's not a budget, right? They just came together and said they put it together, and we saw what happened still. But let's see what happened. They create their own budget coming from them, and because the budget that is by the play with, the Weah administration created that budget. The Senate body said no, it ain't for us. Now we have budget without we have priorities. So they say, we'll work on it. They work on it. They do what they could do with it. They play with the budget, and now we are endorsed behind it. Now they're seeing it, and honestly, if you cannot impact the people, if you cannot, the cost of living, the people pay. You talk about harmonization. If you cannot say, well, CDC let the people pay, with 150, the average civil servant making 150. When CDC took over, they were making $45, I think. They carried 150. Now, if you cannot take it from 150 to somewhere else, and the people wages remain the same, that's a problem for you. And with all I was hearing, they're going to get more tough. Right now, the government is hustling for money to make sure that they can support the priorities next year. But I'll say this on the record, I foresee there will be some major reshuffle upon the president's return. One thing I foresee happening. Second thing,
If you foresee reshuffle, can you give us indication of which sector you think you see reshuffle? Don't just tell us in blank say you see reshuffle, because I think that's something you think that making you say that. So which sector of government you think there will be reshuffle?
Any era that the president, if you look in America, you see what happening right now, right? You saw last night debate.
Okay, who you saw? Wait, Timothy, what happened in America with the president delegation among them? I know you close to them. I won't pick in your head, Timothy. I won't pick in your head.
But
you say something. Don't tell us you say there will be reshuffle. What is it happening around the president? You think who they want to change?
Maybe in an era the president and his number is dropping. And you see, the guy here, you got your favorite, the era that make you favorable, the era that make you popular, the era that that his name is.
So, Tomani, are you suggesting that the baby reshuffle part of our ministry?
I do not know.
No, I think
wait.
Public work needs to go. Commerce needs to go.
I won't be surprised because the guy who's the deputy to Roland Giddings, he was prior to the government taking office. It was Roman who had been the public work minister. This guy is an engineer from the African Development Bank. I think it's for the African Development Bank in Abidjan.
Is that one era where you think the president will make changes?
Well, I want era. I don't ever know what's happening. But
No,
because
but in support of Tamerlane's.
if you read the communication between the minister and his deputy, what's going on there? At one point where the acting chair of the cabinet saying that the president asked the man to travel with him, the minister said he should go. You know, there's a problem. That means like you're having a problem. You're having a problem right now. Already having a problem, and it almost like you're challenging the president's authority. Something like that.
What next right you see to have change? Which area again? What you
I
think?
can tell you, I foresee there will be reshuffle, and and then the last thing I forgot to say.
Don't give us blank statement, man. Give us
No,
something that we look for.
It's my own opinion.
But Johnny, will you let the man just land?
No, let the man say something. Let the man want to say. The man want to keep on down.
On a lot of the political landscape, we just seen that Lima Bowie already threw her hat right in the race, right? She's saying she's gonna run, and then Chuchu Jones just said he's running too. So you got two now, right? So Lima Bowie, Chuchu Jones, they're all people who say they're gonna run. So but Lima Bowie, you know, she says she will not settle for senatorial position. She'll go for the top. And lastly, I forgot to bring it on there. I also see, I don't know, people are predicting there will be sanctions coming from the U.S. government. But we're America in election year, I don't know whether there will be sanctions. I don't know. But come December 9th, we'll know. So, guys.
So, Tamerlane, I know you about to close. This is our closing statements, right?
Yeah, closing. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just get. I will use just a minute to give my closing statement, so Henry can leave early. But let me say this regarding everything you just mentioned, right? If President Boycott is to make the decision to hopefully do a little bit of shuffling at the Public Works Ministry, I think he would be doing a good job. Reason being, Giddens has shown to be incompetent to some extent, and the incompetence is not much more of my concern. Well, actually, it is, because corruption actually highly amplified the message of incompetence. So, if we are to speak of the recent 22 million and other things that are happening, if President Boycott is not courageous enough to say, Giddens, go on somewhere else, because you sat on several platforms and you propagated my message, so I will just retain you, but I will put you somewhere else where you can get your daily allowance, or go somewhere else. I would think that President Boycott himself will prove to be very incompetent, even though I already know this, that he is incompetent. I expected nothing more from his presidency, and I'm saying that he is proving me right. I have been vindicated, and I will only be vindicated even more and gloriously. The people in Liberia will see that I told them this man is not ready. He was never ready yesterday. He would never be ready to move Liberia forward. We need an innovative leader, one who understands the geoeconomic politics, who understand and has the ability to reach out to foreign leaders and get their attention when they are discussing business. And when I'm saying business, I mean their desire to honestly excel, to make Liberia a better place. President Boycott is not the guy, cannot see a person in his circle to represent that ideal. So, of course, it's not going to happen. And our people will remain in abject poverty. He and his family, with few people in his circle, will remain at the green pasture. They will remain the beneficiary of the masses suffering, and he will continue to live his glamorous and flamboyant life. His kids will live and remain recognized as the president's children, and we will end up, those of us who are the masses' children, we will remain without food to eat. We will remain suffering. We will have no clean drinking water. We will have no safety nets. The issue of sanitation will be of no concern. District number 8 will remain in dirt, and the list goes on and on. So we need a leader who truly understands our quest. Our request is a leader who will fight corruption. President Boykai reserve nothing. He shows nothing. He's not in our interest. So we are simply asking that, like Chuchu said, hopefully he will consider our future and give us reason to either resign and give opportunity. But it is unfortunate that I even said that because one of the most notorious individuals in the country is Jeremiah Cohen himself. He's very corrupt. So if President Boykai resign, then I have to deal with Jeremiah Cohen. So now I'm left between two rocks that I have to deal with. It's unfortunate that I had to even mention that. But again, this is what Liberians asked for. This is what Liberians will have to deal with. It's unfortunate, but we are at a very critical moment in our country's history. It is, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm sorry, guys. Thanks. It was a great show today, but let us continue to fight for Liberia. And the young lady who was embarrassed, disgraced because of whatever contribution for her graduation she didn't make. Let us see how we can reach out to her and help her out in the best interest of Liberia. But Liberians, CDC and UP should never be considered an option for any one of you guys if you want a better Liberia. That's my closing. Thank you.
Okay.
And they would not be in 2029. I guarantee you that.
Wow, that is Chuchu Jones. Well, you know, they say when the Christmas will be, you'll see it. You see it from the east, right? So, if now, for instance, if the election took place, the two parties named are still dominating as CDC and UP. So I don't know, except it'll be a miracle or some shift. But right now, I mean, I don't know.
That's why I said. If we want to progress, it should not be. Should not be considered. But
if you listen to the news, what's been dominating that these two party people are tired with it. That's why you read the news, you read the commentaries today. We talk to Liberians. They don't want a boycott, but they don't want CDC as well. CDC supporters going to be CDC supporters, but they can't win election on their own. They're going to need the independents. They're going to need a whole sector. So they may go to the second round, but they will not win. That I can tell you that.
I mean, so then who will be the alternative there? One of the not the two now.
I can tell you, it will be an independent new person. Nima Bori stands a good chance. I stand a good chance, and any Liberian with a good record of fighting for Liberian people has a pretty much chance over CDC or United Party. 2029, you put your name on CDC ballot for any position or United Party, you are done. It's clear.
You know what?
So we can carry your hand up. You can put it all like you did it last time. The people are known for making they're known for making big rallies and spectacle. They will do that thing, but I can tell you when you look at the election numbers, they don't stand a chance. They can't win on their own. That's the problem.
But just a few months ago, we had election in Liberia. Two parties dominated the election again, and since 2005, the two parties have gone to the runoff.
Yeah, well, Tomale, I agree that is the reality. We have the two groups,
Yeah.
So
I don't understand
but listen, Tomale, right?
Yeah.
Our armed conflict ended in 2003. We had election 2005. So in the last 18 years, we've had the two groups. Liberians must now sit and review and reflect in their lives. We have UP for 12 years. We have CC for six years. That's 18 years gone. Where are we? Even the children that were born in the 18 years, they themselves will begin to build some consciousness to know that, look, I was born during the time we had the two regime, the two groups in power. Where am I? What have I achieved as a young person? And one thing I'm worried about Liberia is if more Liberians get exposed to what's happening around them, where young people in Liberia see what happening, how young people are progressing in Cote d'Ivoire or in Ghana or even in Sierra Leone, other places, it will build our consciousness. But if the young people in Liberia remain in the same box right in Monrovia there, and you drive from Broad Street, you come to Railway, Pinsville, Yellow Junction, or from Broad Street to St. Paul, Breuville, and the things you see over and over, it has impact on your thinking. So those of us who think that these two groups have not done well for Liberia, we have to move forward to present discussion, to discuss issues that will enlighten people about how things are out there and why the two people are not doing better for us. Because
Yeah,
like
but
I was asking Chuchu, right? We
yeah.
owe 2.5 billion. That's what
Mm,
we owe now in the last maybe
mm,
18 years or 20 years, what we owe. So
mm.
how can we match that to our life? Okay, let's look at external debt. If we owe 1.3 in external debt, so how is the 1.3 impacting us? How has it impacted our life? How have we made progress with the 1.3 billion dollars? That we have spent on Liberia. Where is it? You understand what I'm saying? So we have to try as Liberians, all of us here. Tourmaline, Jala. I mean,
No, but
Jimmy.
let
The,
me
prob-
let me
the thing
interrupt
is
you
that
first.
notice there are people on the panel too here
Let me
are either
interrupt you
CDC
now.
or UP to the
So for
extent
the
that
first thing,
they don't want to realize that the two groups have not done well for the country over the
okay,
last year.
but Johnny, the first thing when I see Appleton, Cummings, Gonglo, Moneybar, who again, all the top of the top candidates in the last race who are done here, CDC and UP. When I see them come together, I say, oh, the meeting in Bonkante or in Nimba to say, well, let's change the trajectory of the political landscape. Then we'll know. But right now,
Okay, then
I
Tourmaline,
come in now. You
Tourmaline,
put it
make
in
that your
your,
subject.
I
No,
mean, you put it
listen.
in your room right now.
Make that your subject now for discussion, right?
Fight.
Make that your subject for discussion to say, look, well, we have to help Liberia. Like I always say in this platform, we should help Liberia.
How do you have that
Make,
bureau when
make that a
the people?
subject. Let's discuss it so that that can be compared to come together if we all mean well. If we sit
Yeah,
down and
but
we discuss
until
individually,
that happens, because first of all, right now, just the sorry gives them in our own setting. You get it. People that supporting the candidates there, they still can't agree. So if we agree to say, okay, let's come together and say, yeah, why can't you say that you get Cummings, Gonglo, or Cummings, Gonglo,
Moneybar.
Moneybar, and who again? And the other people. So you're kind of together. You're like see what we can be the change.
So Tourmaline, can I just interject here quickly though? I know Chuchu got to come in though, but I think everyone is becoming,
You can take my discussion now. Any that go.
right. I think everyone is
Sorry
becoming a
now.
little bit afraid because of what Boycott and the UP did to the CPP. They're afraid at this point to even engage in any kind of conversation because no one wants to be the lifesaver of another person. I think, and I just want to say this openly here. You and I will agree that you don't believe in the number that was given to Alexander Cummings. You and I know that number was made up.
I know you're a fraud, man. Come on.
Right, exactly. Thank you. You and I know that. But this is where I became concerned, though. Let's be fair to the Liberian people. When Alexander Cummings and his cronies started bringing the likes of Louis Brown and other people who have been leeching on government, I was concerned. I was concerned about that decision because you know why though?
Lofa, if you say that Lofa, then you being unfair to because look, you have people from all sides.
Tell me if you allow me to land. If you allow me to land, you get my prendo. If you allow me to land, because the Louis Brown and other people have been a part of government, okay, corrupt government, and they have shown nothing different, okay. So my concern here was the fact that these people again were now gathering, okay, bringing themselves to support an Alexander Cummings. I was concerned as to whether we were going to experience what we're experiencing today with the UP government. And then guess what actually provided a lot more to my concern? When Tier 1 in his statement said, we must sit on the old mat to apply the new one, I was like, okay, so the politicians in Liberia just have this mindset that they cannot get away from the status quo. They must remain consistently involved with these corrupt politicians. Louis Brown and other people have been accused, time without number, of being part of corruption. Why bring them up to be a part of the process? I don't get it. But maybe, like Ben Sanvi said, he said you cannot work in Liberia and distance Liberian from being a part of the process. They all must be a part of the process, and the entire country, as he claimed, the entire country is corrupt. Nobody
And
is
let me make this point,
complain
though,
of it.
Pam.
So
Look, let me
Tamale,
just say this, and I'll just say this on my closing here. What's going to happen and why it's so difficult for United Party and CDC, they're going to destroy each other. Come with me. Or United Party is never going to sit back and allow George Weah to come back to power. They will go with anybody else. And the same thing, the CDC is not going to allow the United Party to remain in power or to gain power again. The problem with some of the names you mentioned, and I'm not going to go after anybody other than those two parties. That's my focus. Unity Party and CDC. I'm not here to go against any other party because they haven't held power.
right?
So my campaign against those two parties. The problem here is that the ordinary people who are not part of those two parties, who are on the fringes of those two parties, will decide the next election. People like Johnny, people like Lofa Julius. These are not CDC or Unity Party loyalists. And there are millions of Liberians like that. So to focus on the group of people, the CDC loyalists or the Unity Party loyalists, is a waste of time. We're going after those individuals who are not loyalists of these parties, who are feeling the pinch from their leadership. And that's who we need to focus on and sell our message to. And the message is clear. These two people have destroyed your lives.
Jones, I repeat to you, Chuchu Jones.
Remove
If you
it.
think, I don't know, but Johnny will tell you though, Liberian politics is a politics local. It's different on the ground, brother. You get on the ground, you walk.
Timothy,
I'm coming. You get on the ground. You first of all, you get on the ground. You open. You have your first rally. When people feel you, you say When they attack you,
Trust
you
me.
say, people are
Trust
going to
me.
rescue. People are going to
Timothy, where haven't I heard?
Yeah, but
Where haven't I heard?
yeah, but first of all,
we're gonna see scenario where, and that's what most of our candidates. The problem is they're weak. They want to play this diplomatic politics, and the diplomatic politics is what George Weah Party and Unity Party, they are dirty parties. They will carry on any smear. So if you can't face those people and play the same game against them, fire with fire, all right, you're not gonna go nowhere. And like I said, they know me and they're afraid of me. I'm the only person the CDC people are afraid of, and the Unity Party people.
What you saying? What you usually say? Yeah, go say in Liberia to go attack UP or CDC.
The people in Liberia hear me all the time.
So but go on the ground.
So
I will be on the ground. What's the Appleton went on the ground. Appleton went there a few months and look how successful. I'll be living like Liberia for years. Listen, so what I'm saying here, I will be in Liberia. Listen, let me give a breaking news here. Let me give you a breaking news. I will be in Liberia. I will be teaching high school in Liberia beginning next year. Public high school.
Thank you. Good.
I'm retiring to go and teach our high school students to think, to do math, to write.
Because next year, by this time, we'll be asking you where we'll be asking you to join in Liberia teaching.
Timothy, like I said, I'm not obligated to answer you anything. You CDC man. You CDC man.
I'm independent man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
you CDC man. So I'm not obligated to answer you anything. But my support, I have decided to commit.
So let me make a point, right? You asked a question about having UP and CDC around. One thought that came to my mind is that these two groups have access to state resources for the last 18 years. The other guys have never had access. Election is expensive. It bleeds a lot. I can tell you clearly that a lot of the other parties bled seriously. That's a clear fight. And you need to recuperate and re-strategize. You need time. Politics at time. And the advantage, I agree with you, the two guys got an advantage because they've been having access to state resources. Since the year left from power, I'm sure the state got some money. UP has some money. The year came out of power now. So I'm sure the two that are learning from the mistake of the 2 years, the 2 terms that they lost in 2017 election to George Weah. They're learning from that mistake. I'm sure they're trying to amass some money. So that is why they will have the kind of advantage. But those of us who do not prefer the two groups, we want to try a new place, we have to begin to sacrifice as early as possible. As early as possible. If you don't want CDC to come back, you don't want UP to come back, you have to start working now as early as possible to start forming people who will believe in you, believe in your message, and believe that these two groups have not done well, we should try somewhere else. You understand what I'm saying? But other than that, like you're saying, of course, Liberian people, right now, the people are arguing on law for each group. So the population now is contested between UP and CDC, right? Yeah, UP, CDC. They'll tell you all the UP guys are standing strong to defend their UP against CDC. The UP guys, the CDC guys also are standing strong to defend their CDC against the UP. So what may happen in the process is that if they realize that they are getting unpopular with the population, they may start trying to form alliance with other of the guys that are in the field. Probably CDC will want to call Tutu, so Tutu come to us. We'll be our
I'm
running
not
mate.
going to CDC. I'm not going to use music party ever in my life. So let me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying something like that making scenario, right? But
No,
you
they're
have
not
asked
coming.
Tutu now, right? Tutu has good ideas, but Tutu does not have the money to fulfill the brain people. Remember one money.
Chuchu, what he cost the people there? He brought the country to a lowest ebb tonight. He dismissed the country. He said he regret why.
And I do. I feel ashamed for the country today.
He said you regret why you were Liberian, why you were born in that country.
I regret the fact of being Liberian where you can handcuff a student and you say you got a leadership. I regret that. Okay.
But anyway, thank you. Thank you for
record.
the show today, Tomele. So
okay, guys, yes. But let me say thanks to one of the guys. Please join me in thanking Mr. B.N. Gayflow Cassidy for fulfilling his promise to the closing argument amount of $1,000. Thank you so much, B.N. Cassidy. He's in Delaware there. He was very instrumental in the burial of our friend and brother, Malcolm Gawe. For the first time, I've been a part of the Liberian group. We raised more than $43,000 in 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And the report was given. Transparency. Look, everybody satisfied with the report that was given. Well, after we finished burying the brother, we're left with 10,000 and change, and we share it with the daughter and with the widow. So look, for the first time, Liberian came together. In 3 weeks, we raised more than $43,000. And that was the best for us. I want to say thank you, guys. Thank you. And let us say thank you again, and God bless you, and thanks to all those who contributed to our platform.
This is a talking point. This is a key talking point. If the diaspora can raise for the 2,000, it means a lot to Liberia.
We'll see you guys again tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday, Friday. But guys, if anything happens, we're gonna have show tomorrow because we got 5 days now. So let's see what happens, guys. So good night, guys. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Herman. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Thank you.
I'll be there. Let me say many thanks to you for your listening, role, man. Thanks to those of you that follow online. Join us. That's going to be on Friday, at which time we're going to be here again with another edition of the closing argument. The time check is exactly 14 minutes climbing up to 1 o'clock here in Liberia. Let me say many thanks to all affiliate radio stations for reading this program. Join us Friday, at which time we're going to be at again. Many thanks to the panelists. My name is Heron Jada. I've been here with the man Marian Tobian together. We've been running the show. Join us on Friday for another edition. For the on behalf of the team, we'll say bye-bye from our end.